talking about Mercury is in retrograde. I don't even know what the fuck that means, but check this out.
Back it up, retrograde like Mercury. Do your little dance in them apple bottom jeans, but they out of season. If you got a man, why you text me on the weekend? Praying to the give me something to believe in. Play this for my fam, they gon' say that I need Jesus. Turn up with my demons, it's already too late, baby, by the time you read this. Poured up strong, this tequila got me in my feelings. Your butt in the head, like my name was Beatles. Blowing out the speakers, fuck a noise complaint, middle finger to police. Back it up, retrograde like Mercury. Do your little dance in them apple bottom jeans, but they out of season. If you got a man, why you text me on the week? Club too crowded, this shit weak.
You hungry?
Make the Uber drive through Mickey D's. 20 piece, please. Back to the crib. She throw it back like TBT. Legally Blonde on DVD. Then that brain was Ivy League. Come see me. Keegan Michael, she got the key. Trip expensive, love is free. She got the bag off PPP. Morning sex, call it Sunny D. Not a joke, but it's tongue in cheek. Eggplant emoji next to the peach. Yeah, blah, 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 you know what I mean. Back it up. Retrograde like Mercury. Do your little dance in them apple bottom jeans, but they out of season. If you got a man, why you text me on the week?
Okay, but I still don't know what that means though. Like, can you break it down for me? Like is the planet like spinning backwards, or like I'm just trying to understand it. Like that's just why you were being weird. It was the planets, or okay, fine.
Hello. I almost said good morning, but it is afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Fliplock says, oh, funeral music in your comments? What? That's bizarre. Checkmate Humanity. Love Checkmate Humanity. Check out her channel, y'all. I'm getting trolled, and all I made was a 12-minute video that has almost 100K views. I'm sure bigger channels with more engagement getting more trolling. Yeah, the squad is not happy, are they? True crime needs to be trolled. The cops in trucking need to be trolled as they told AWP to not bother looking where they found her. Why? Had they not went ahead and looked, would she have been found? Well, if you guys remember, I think this is something that a lot of people are forgetting about Kylie's case. The water was receding because that's a reservoir. And so they take the water there, and I can't remember where they drain it into for their water supply, but they drain it into somewhere else. And I remember this when Check It TV, do y'all remember Check It TV? They were there. That's when we heard this, that the water, they were draining the water into another spot, which is what they do all the time, I guess, depending on the drought season and whatnot. So I can't remember what they said, 4 or 5 more days and the roof of her vehicle, or the bottom of her vehicle would have been exposed because the water would have been down low enough. So when law enforcement first got there and searched the water, that vehicle would have been much lower under the water than when AWP got there and searched the water. That's not what this live's about, but that's what that just, I don't know, brought that to mind. Hey, Tracy. People like Upchurch need to figure out their lane and, hey, Hazel Rose. Hey, Patrish. Cheesy Weezy. Laura P. Christy A. Cat's Eye. Yep. Hey, yep. Been busy thanks to you. Hey, Dino. Search and Rescue. XX Country. Jenny D. Just for you 247. That's a mouthful. Hey, Suzanne. Fixin' to snap. Ashley Oaks. And Grandma Sherry's in the house. Okay, good. So it's still morning on the West Coast to some of y'all. Good morning, good morning. Evil Queen and studio headphones. 100-degree heat. Oh, forget about it. I would just call it a day. Call it a day. Go in, lay in the AC. His new video is something else, the one that he just dropped. That's why I decided, let me just go ahead, go live, talk about this, and we'll make this a community conversation. Let me drop the link if others want to come up and talk about it. But it's not just Upchurch, is it? There's also the whole, basically the whole Creek Squad is going ham. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I can grab it on my phone and pin it. That's the only way I know how. Okay. Thank you, Grandma Sherry, for dropping that. Anything AWP claimed isn't credible. Correct. I agree. In my opinion, even that. But that's me. But they pushed a narrative. They did push a narrative with this case. I agree. I think everything shifted in this case with tow truck guy, which is not even a case. That's the ironic part. It's a tragic, tragic accident. He goes on a rant about Ickedmel being a black guy named Melvin for 5 minutes. Yeah, I know, Doc. And I can't play it because that's another thing I want to talk about. Have you guys seen a lot of creators? It wasn't happening. Um, I think it really started. Jones ended a live, and that she got hit later, not during. But Glare got hit during the live. If you guys saw that, he got like copyright claims out the wazoo. I think there was like five before he decided to move on to something else. Well, that's been happening with a lot of creators. I've gotten several emails since that, yeah, they've been getting these copyright claims midstream or after the stream. So it's obviously a bot that's going out and doing it. I thought he was manually doing it because I hadn't seen it happening earlier in the day, but it sounds like he's got a company checking that stuff for him. But my question is why? Because he has always been on this platform as, free. None of my stuff's wrote. If you want to use my music, things like that. So now all of a sudden, why does he want to claim all this stuff? Is that to troll? Yeah, that too. Me too, Sparker. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, True Crime Time. Hey, Kasha Gems. Six Up. Hey, love. Oh, it was great. It was great. Just Samantha. Oh, it's raining. Oh, no. Let me get down and see what you own. I do like, and that's the problem. Like, I like some of Upchurch's music. I do. And I also like, we're going to go over some of Captain Kurt Reacts videos. And I like Captain Kurt. I do. I think he's funny. I love what he went out and did for JJ. Um, but just because I like someone doesn't mean I agree with them 100% of the time. Just Samantha thinks his music's terrible. Someone linked an article about Ryan. I'll have to look for that. I'll have to look for that. Yeah, he was. It was really, really hard. Oh, did it happen to Dolly too? Well, I know he likes Dolly, so that's rough. Yeah, they did. They sure did, Burden. Especially you. Oh, what they did to you, what Upchurch, not AWP, but what Upchurch did to you was just atrocious. Yes, and MCM is doing it. I don't know. I might be able to read his transcript. Maybe we won't get struck that way. We could do it. We could try it like that. He's a cuck who can't handle strangers on the internet dunking on him for his crazy. Well, I just find it ironic if you're gonna preach, um, I'm free to say what I want on the internet. Why won't you let people review you? I mean, Ickedmel just reviewed you for 4 hours, and He's like really, really been out of shape about it. Yeah, it's a good idea not to play his stuff. He's trying to play funny on YouTube, but no shit serious behind the scenes, probably. I wonder, is he still denying it? Does anybody know? Is he still denying the lawsuit? Part of it went down. Okay. Hey, Bieber. Hey, Ellie. How's it going, love? We got rain last night. I was so excited. He brought an AWP glass breaker. Well, hey, it's a good product. It's a really good product. But you can get the same one on Amazon for like $2.99. If no one has one, don't get it through AWP. You think so? I don't know. So he's been on YouTube, on the internet for quite some time. He's been, a mega troll, a professional troll for quite some time. So is he just trolling or is he triggered? Is he scared? Like, what do you guys think? Do you really think that he's just trolling the true crime community? Because I'm not going to lie, I laughed at some of his earlier videos. I didn't laugh at this last one where he's totally dragging Ickedmel, but it was a couple days ago. I laughed because a lot of what he was saying about the true crime community is true. It's things that we call out all the time, but um, some of the stuff he's saying isn't true, and it's just going a little far. He's not striking true crime time. He's doing a copyright claim, and I don't know how he's getting them to shut down the video during the live, but he's just claiming the content. Tracy, are you singing in chat? Is he really getting sued? I mean, I think so. I've seen the Pacer motion file that Rabbits put out, Glares put out. Uh, who else has went over it? I saw those 2 go over it. I'm sure others have went over it as well, but it looks legit. The law company's legit. I don't know why it would be a fake lawsuit. Yeah, he's still okay. He's still denying it. Hey, T Marie. And by the way, if we get some trolls in here, that's fine. You're allowed to say your opinion in here. Come up and share your opinion if you want to. But we don't take anybody like attacking anybody else's race or gender. You're just gonna get your comment's gonna get deleted. And if a mod has to delete your comment multiple times, then they'll time you out. And if they have to time you out and you keep coming back and doing those 2 attacks, then they'll have to hide you. But we try to just let everybody state their mind in here. So we haven't had, I mean, I think I have like 5 people on my block list. So that's how little it happens. Does that mean he only lets people with permission to review? See, I don't know. Where did the copyright claim stuff come into play? Because he didn't used to have that on there. It used to be, like I said, I don't believe he's monetized. I know someone mentioned it the other day. I still don't believe he's monetized, but it's just very bizarre that now he's making claims on his content. And it seems to be on those that are reviewing him in a negative light. But then again, you guys said he did it to Dolly, and I don't think Dolly would have been reviewing him in a negative light. See, I like his music too. Yeah, see, his roasts about the true crime community are funny. It's when he starts dogging people, he goes mean and personal, and he does, and he says the most vile, bizarre things ever. Yes, I hope he hires an attorney. I think UPS is here, so you might hear Coda barking in the background for a second. Hey, Okie Crime News. My guess, if he has money, just settle, pay the family, move on like it never happened. I don't know that he's gonna do that. I think he thinks that he did nothing wrong. Hey, Carrie. When I was watching Captain Kurt Reacts, now I didn't get through all of his live. I watched a couple of his videos and I got, oh, probably 75% of the way through his live before this. Um, I can't remember what I was saying. Isn't that horrible? Oh, they don't think that it's just about what he said. Like I almost think they feel like it is a personal vendetta, and I find that very odd, very odd. Zanime went over what happened with Ryan and reviewed him too, and he didn't strike her or Ickedmel when they right. It seemed to start happening after Ickedmel's live. That's when I noticed people were getting these. And then you have to remember that a lot of it too is not just him attacking people. It's um, the Creek Squad. I mean, I can't remember. Like I'm trying to think of their names, but yeah, it's the Creek Squad going after people as well, and that's what's kind of scary because I did do. Hang on, I'm trying to grab a overlay, but I can't find them. Um, but the Creek Squad is going in really hard on some people, and I went and was looking up a couple videos about this Creek Squad, and they do a lot of doxing and attacking and like real life things. It's really extra. This whole um, group of individuals that he has over there. A blank slate. Are you there, love?
I am. I was just waiting for you to finish your thought. I have like maybe 5 minutes. Of course, I'm on a break from work, just listening in when my internet allows me to. It's been really bad this morning. I just wanted to say really quickly, because I used to perform in bands for years and years, and I have some albums that are on YouTube. And for a while, it was okay because I took care of my own copyrights and allowed anybody that wanted to use the music on YouTube to use them. But then on our final album that we did, or maybe it was the second one to last, I used a company to do our digital media.
Yeah.
And they were crazy about that copyright stuff, like 3 seconds into a song. So previous permissions that I had given were null and void. I had to go into YouTube studios and request that album, the whole album, not just a song, be deleted from the copyright situation. Basically, I can't remember exactly how it went because it was a couple years ago, but I had given Gray permission to play one song, maybe two, and he was getting a copyright claim on them, and I was like, what the heck, man? And it was like a 3-week ordeal just to get that copyright claim deleted off of his channel, because he doesn't want anything negative on there if he can keep it on there. But so it could be something like that, but since his mother is not helping him with his stuff anymore and he's going to different avenues to get his business taken care of, it could be something like that. I'm not trying to give him any excuses, because whatever, it's not right. He told people he could use it. He needs to take care of that. That's point A. And then point B, you're totally right. He doesn't just have, fans. He has a goon squad that goes after anybody he points them in the direction of. So it's terrible, because they will dox, they will troll your chat, they will harass your people in your chat, they will dox people in your chat, they will go after other creators that try to stand up for you. Creeksquad, there are some good people there, because I know some people that are on the Creek, whatever, I can't even say it. But there's a lot of negative behaviors that come out of that group too. And whenever you got 3 million people behind you, it kind of makes you feel like you can behave any way you choose, because they're.
I had some really good interactions with the Creek Squad back when he was when I was just doing clips. Like, they were always nice in my comments, and now though they're just like very vicious. Patrick Patterson, if that's your real name, I would highly recommend changing your name on here, because people will go crazy with it. But he says, so in essence, you can be sued for what your followers do. No, I don't think you can be sued for someone. I don't know. It would depend on what it was and how they attached you to it. I'm not saying that his lawsuit is because of what his followers have done. No, the lawsuit is solely because of Ryan's words and Ryan's actions. They cite Ryan's videos in the suit. But I'm just also drawing attention to the fact that if you speak out against Ryan or about this lawsuit, you have a ton of these members coming at you, even for just having your opinion, which is kind of ironic because that's what they're complaining about is that Ryan should be allowed to have his opinion. So it's just the back and forth there.
It is kind of in it, and I just want to say one more thing. If someone says, um, it's kind of like saying, it's kind of like starting a townsfolk riot. If you're saying this bad person's over here and they may or may not be a bad person and you're pointing 20 people at them, it's a whole lot different than pointing 20,000 people at them. So you may have to consider that whenever you're talking about fans and people. I don't know what the legal ramifications are of that or if it can be considered in a lawsuit. So people need to think about that whenever they're speaking out in chats, especially when they don't realize how individual or how their identity is being seen in a chat. But I got to go. I got to go back to work. I just wanted to bring that up because it needs to be considered that because this business model changed, some things may have changed there. And that he may not even know what's going on himself. So
that's very true. Thank you, Blank Slate. We appreciate you coming up and giving that.
no problem. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Love you. Have a great day at work.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Here I starred a comment. There we go. True Texan said, this needs to be squashed sooner than later, as this is not going to be fun for anyone before it is all said and done. I agree, True Texan. I feel like things are getting out of control and it's starting to go really far, and it's going to get more intense and bigger, in my opinion. It really is. This back and forth isn't helping anything. I was trying to see. So let's see. I can let's kind of skim over Ryan's latest video. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll drop the link because we can't play it. So here's the link for it. But this is where he's really saying some crazy things to Ickedmel. But we're going to read the transcript here. So it says, I see all that time you lost to me, 4 hours, 3 minutes, and 6 seconds of your life belongs to me, not to mention the other 17 hours you already given me over the last year. So he's just drawing attention to the fact that Ickedmel's been covering him. I almost owe 2 days of your own 2 days of your entire life. So transcript's going to pick it up a little crazier because the way he speaks. I know it's eating all up Icky Dick. So he calls him Icky Dick, which I noticed Captain Kirk does as well. And I mean, I know how I feel about that because I like Ickedmel, but that's also just creator back and forth. You know, it's just bleh. All of the true crime. Let's look at Joe numbers because let's see what they're doing. 3 days, 11,000. So here, I wanted to get to this part where he's really talking about his name. So right now, he's just saying, he's talking about the money he makes and what he does for a living. He reads his bio, just talking about how he just sits in front of a chair and does whatever. I know what it costs you. No, it's like the bright gay bar lights in the background that you think are nasty. See your computer setup, the kind of clothes you wear. And then I'm like, $42 a month? That's a pretty odd number. Maybe your job occupation is in your bio. So then he reads his occupation, or his bio, which, whatever. But let me get to. Boy, transcript's like, what is this guy saying? Oh my gosh. I just know if I play it, it's gonna shut us down. This was weird. He said, Advise you, I'll be Googling Dr. Oz questions right now. Might want to get him to check out your hands too. I've seen them in your video. Looks like your hands are growing vagina skin. What? What? That's not normal. We know it's not from touching vaginas. Look at you. You're probably still untangling your doo doo roots from your spinny chair. I mean, I try to go easy on you as much as I can. You're already a black dude named Melvin. And look, that ain't racist. All my black creekers out there are probably laughing their ass off because they know I'm right, Melvin. Melvin, your parents hated you from the job. Your dad was like, God, I don't say that word. This ruins my life. I'm naming Melvin once again, not racist, just true. You ever met a white girl named Ashia? I don't know. No, you ever met a black dude named Eugene? You ever met a black dude named Jebediah? You ever met a white guy named Dante? Exactly. Damn. This says Mickey Dick. It was supposed to be Icky Dick with a J. Mickey Dick, your dad really effed up everything he thought this through with the whole Melvin thing. Like, it's against women's laws of physics to be turned on by your name being Melvin. Just like, imagine that females say that to yourself right now. Females who are watching go, oh, Melvin, oh, no, sounds no. Like the beginning of an adult film. It's even crazier when you read it out instead of listening to him say it. Oh my goodness. Um, like the beginning of adult film about a group of pilgrims stranded on a wooden boat with stale bread and bacteria beer. I don't even know a white dude named Melvin, but if I did, he would probably already had changed his name to like Axel or Braden or something cool. And don't even make your stupid little 18-hour video being like, what joke's on you? I'm not black. Oh, come on. Now you're just saying that because all the black fam out there don't accept you. What? What? Because your name's Melvin and you sit around and you look like a beige walnut color because you've been sitting in front of that LED screen for 5 years Googling dead chicks anime and slow police chases. And it's creepy, it's stuff creepy white people do. Stop everyone see you want to be like Icky Dick. You want to be like, oh Mel, he been sitting in his room so long, he has butter knife shins. I'm gonna need someone to tell me what a butter knife shin is. That just like a skinny shin, like make a like saying he skipped leg day. I don't know. I don't get the joke. Oh, where'd his legs go? Then he turned sideways, like, yo, those are my skinny. Oh, bro, and how I would love to see Melvin's hand-eye coordination. I bet it's Evan horrible. It has to be. Look at his hands. He has Kim Kardashian hands. What? He has Kim Kardashian hands. Speaking of Kardashians, Bruce Jenner, I mean, some say he's confused. I would kind of agree, but not as confused as a black dude named Melvin. I mean, let's just be real. You're definitely last for getting picked on teams for playing some b-ball, all right? It don't matter who you are, if it's the last point of the game and this is everything that matters, you're not passing the ball to the black dude named Melvin. There is a chance that he dribbles the ball like it's a golf ball, and his hands are made of stone. Oh, Melvin, icky dickle. I bet his baby pictures are just him as a wearing a turtleneck with a X-brain yo-yo, and they don't even put it on him. It just came out that like that. Oh my gosh. Fast too. He popped out like man did a little triangle thing and like swing the yo-yo through his first sentence. These rants are what they're just so much. He didn't have a first word. He had a first sentence. Right when he came out, he was like, "Ah, Bob Saget's my favorite." He said that. Don't even get me started on your. Then now he goes into his anime. Your effing friend's anime or whatever the her name is. She's a hoe ass bucket of blubber biscuits. Ain't she? Swear to God, if I didn't have glasses on and that chick was walking down my driveway, I'd be like, who the blank is pulling up in the 1990 Chevy Lumina van? P.S. Exam Max, ain't nobody believing your story about sneaking through the border I don't know who Exam Max is. Uh, cut the rope and just flew over like a Ukrainian meteorite. They just a lot of this, yeah. So then he just that's it. She'd be like, America, do you have any? Well, that was fun and easy. Bye. Like that. If you just go and read the transcript, it is insane. But sorry about that. I was on the other screen. But if you watch it, it's even crazier. Even crazier. Are you there, Blair?
I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know, Tracy. I don't even know what he's saying. Like, when you break down someone's words, I do that sometimes, like when they're just rambling on super fast and going on a rant. And you go look at the transcript. I've done it with a couple of creators I've clipped, and you'll like read the transcript. You're like, do they even know what they're talking about? They're just spewing crap out of their mouth.
Have you ever had a conversation with a meth head?
Yeah.
Pack a lunch.
Okay.
Pack a lunch. Like you're gonna be there a minute.
Oh my God.
I mean, he's just like, dude has gone off the deep end clearly, and I'm here for it.
Well, okay, that's the point of this. So you want to be here for it because I know that you and several others would like love to play this, review it, troll it, do whatever with it. But now he is shutting everyone down. He's doing these
Well,
copyright claims, so you can't even review it properly by playing the footage.
that's not even why. I'm here for it because it's just every time he says something that even remotely resembles something that could be referred to in this case that he's being sued for that he says is fake, it's added to the complaint. So I'm just rooting for the Rodney family. I mean, other than that, yeah, it's entertaining, sure. I love reviewing them, but mostly it's really just because it's just another notch on the belt of families fighting back against this kind of crap. So
because he amended it, or it's been amended once already, hasn't it? I think Rabbit posted that. I know you talked about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody credible is saying that it's a real lawsuit. Rabbit had Mr. Matt on, who for those in the chat that don't know, he represented Ray Agiacchio in the case against Critical K, and won by default. But he's also saying no, it's very real. And I found it really interesting because what he pointed out, he made this observation saying that Ryan seems like a problem client, like the kind of client that he just would be frustrated with on a constant basis.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so, I mean, it's just, yeah, this thing is not, it's not fake. It's very real. I don't know what he thinks he's going to accomplish by trying to convince people that it's not real.
Well, I don't understand the purpose of that at all. Like, why are you saying, like, why would you say, he says he hasn't been served yet, but that doesn't make it any less real, even if you haven't been served it. And maybe he's somewhere where they don't know how, I don't know. But I don't understand the purpose of him spreading out that it's not a real lawsuit.
Right. Yeah, it's really just silly when you think about it. I mean, watching him, I mean, first of all, who is he to be talking about anybody's weight? Because dude is gaining some pounds for sure. I didn't know that you could gain weight by chewing tobacco and whatever else he's engaged in. But he's not anybody to be talking about anybody's personal appearances or weight. And if you're saying, I mean, if you have to give a disclaimer that something's not racist, it's probably racist. Yeah. So
right, and you have to repeat it multiple times.
Right.
And what did you? I don't know if anybody else picked up on it, but I did. was that very next line, all my black friends. That instantly gets thrown out by when a white person makes comments that can be perceived as racist, such as those. You instantly say, well, my black friend's okay with it.
And technically, Ickedmel is not black. He's Dominican.
Right.
Dominicans, me being Dominican myself, I can tell you that typically Dominicans tend to have very dark skin. I have cousins, very dark skin. First cousins, as a matter of fact. But it's not, I mean, there's kind of a difference there. And to throw all these racial things out there about his skin tone is just kind of ridiculous. And what's really funny also, because I watched the video before I logged on to this, he mentions all these different, like, what are supposed to be white names versus black names.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in South Florida, which is actually where Ickedmel lives. Yeah, I have met white girls named Aisha, and I have met black guys with names that you would think are typically, black names or white names or whatever. I mean, it's a melting pot for culture. That was really my favorite thing about living there, is it's a melting pot for culture. So when you're somebody who doesn't seem to ever leave Nashville, maybe you're not going to be exposed to that. But
wait, where was this comment? Drop the I don't think he was trying to be racist. That's my opinion. I don't think he was. Blair might have a different opinion. Others in the chat might have a different opinion.
I think that he's ignorantly bigoted, but not deliberately racist. No,
I don't think he's racist.
Mm-mm.
I just think that when you go there, you're just taking things to a different level. But that's just my opinion. You guys are allowed to have your own. Someone in here said they support Ryan. Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah,
And
nobody's telling you not to.
Yeah.
We're just pointing out the obvious. It's his content that he's putting out, and he's clearly unhinged, and he's not making any sense. So,
and then, what in the world? Sorry, I'm just reading some of these comments.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing
y'all are on something today.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is what these people do.
You're giving my dog nightmares. You hear him growling in his sleep over there. Jeez Louise. But it wasn't just Upchurch's video. Here, let me grab real quick before I move on. Let me grab Rabbit's video that she did with Matt. And like you said, that was a really great breakdown of the lawsuit. And Mr. Matt really goes over it well. So I'll drop that. And then I want to share Captain Kurt's video, because I want to know what the community thinks about basically what they're saying about the true crime community. There's
My boy Morbid's in the chat. What's up, Morbid?
Hey, Morbid. Okay, let's see. So he did one 2 days ago. It's called The Faces of True Crime. I don't know if you've seen this. You're in it.
That's another thing that is interesting. I'm seeing stuff in chat about Ryan's mom. I think that probably is contributing to a lot of his behavior. I mean, he's in the middle of a lawsuit. Well, not he's in approaching the ending of his lawsuit with his mom. Well,
he's in a lot of active lawsuits right now, and I think that's got to be stressful on anyone and everyone if you were in that many lawsuits at one time. I don't care what you come on here and say, but that has to be stressful.
Well, sure, but it doesn't make him a victim of anything. I mean, he brought it on himself. I don't feel sorry for him in the slightest, but I'm just personally speculating as to what could be contributing to his insane behavior right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, good egg. A lot of people have a lot of lawsuits are going on right now. I was thinking about this earlier today, actually. I remember when I was a teen in the 90s and how the whole, so sue me was a huge saying and people were just throwing it around. But now it's to the point where everybody's just suing everybody over the littlest things. It's so bizarre.
I just want it noted that I'm being very nice out of respect for you and your channel, considering all of the things that are being said about me in your chat.
Wow.
So,
Yeah,
just
Chris B, I
just
really wish you could
for
just
the
take
record, I
that.
want you to know that I am not saying anything back because of respect for you and your channel. So,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wow. There's a lot of anger in here, y'all. Hey, truth seeker. Oh, the true crime community. Maybe it deserves to be trolled. There's just so much
well,
back
I
and
mean,
forth. I noticed that the other day in Morbid's chat, and I just like slowly backed out, ignored it. But there's like a lot of back and forth, y'all.
yeah, like if you notice, there's these people that just kind of pop up when there's like Good Egg is just an idiot who
I
just
like good egg. I do
well,
like good
she's a
egg.
moron because she just pops up when there's controversy and always has an opinion when it's convenient, and that's it. Uh, so I mean, I'm not trying to tell anybody who to like and who not to like, but Good Egg's a moron, has been for 2 years that I know of.
I was saying yeah to Queen Bee, not to what the Claire was saying, by the way. I didn't want that to sound like I was agreeing. Um,
And I don't know who the hell Chris B is.
I don't either. Okay, I remember when Chris B went after Queen Bee, Nonsense, and Rabbit
I
and
mean,
Heels. Like sent a nasty email to all of them.
that's what I'm talking about. Is this like there's this certain group of people that just turn on each other, and that seems to consume their time. This is how they spend their free time, is to just be cool with somebody and then turn on them, and then basically drama content and
Yeah.
just feed off of it. And I can't even fucking relate to it. Sorry
I
for my
don't know,
language.
Nicole B. Is there a full moon? I did bust out the Mercury song for the opening. It is crazy. But if you guys like, here's my thing. If you've got an issue with him and he's up here on my panel, come up here and talk to him about it, or go over to his channel and talk to him about it.
Well, it's
Like,
funny because the stuff that they're bringing up is stuff that the only reason anyone knows about it is because I brought it to light, because I addressed it. And you can watch my content. I have
yeah.
addressed these things on my channel and I'm not afraid to address them, but I'm not going to justify myself to a bunch of morons who have nothing better to do than to sit there and stir shit on someone's panel. Sorry, it's beneath me. I'm not doing it.
Right. Yeah, chill with the insults, y'all. And good egg, I will say though that, and while I do like you and appreciate you and never had an issue with you, like you did just come in here and go at him, and that's not what we're doing here. And I just wish that could all just be quashed for now. Take it another channel, another time, unless you want to come over up here and hash it out with him. But like the panel to chat stuff doesn't work
I
out. The
mean, look at what I'm talking about. You're a smart person. Look at the behavior. Good Egg saying why are you taking over DeetS panel topic by arguing? So what she's trying to do is stir up some sort of controversy between you and I. It's very manipulative. It's what these people do constantly. It's pathetic.
Well, I don't always have an open panel, but with this I wanted to, so that, I can allow others to come up here, say what they want to say about this Ryan situation. And so I don't feel like he's taking over.
That's all I came up here to do. And if you open the panel to these idiots, I'm going to leave. I mean, not, and so I'm saying that respectfully. I'm just, I
Right,
have no,
I get that, and you're free to do so whenever
yeah,
you want.
it's,
Yep.
I'm not doing a drama panel. I'm just not doing it.
So everybody's got some. Richard, I love you. Thank you for making me laugh. I needed to laugh in that moment. Remember to smoke chicken and not fentanyl. Thank you. Oh goodness. Okay. Let's play this video and talk about what we came here to talk about. All right. And be kind to each other in the chat. We can have respectful conversations here. We have for tons of lives about topics and things that others disagree on. We've had, Laura up on panel and we had to say the same thing. Y'all need chill and chat. So let's just remember to be respectful of everyone here. And if you do have issues, take it to them personally. If you're not going to come up and, address them personally, or it's not about this topic, just try to be kind. That's all I'm saying. Let's play this. Goodness gracious, y'all.
Is that a bird?
No, it's a plane.
No, man, it's Captain Kurt.
Oh, wait.
This guy, I have a different name for him that I won't say on your channel.
Psycho Babble Rap 10 hours ago said, karma is coming for Creeksquad's cult leader, just like I said it would. Depositions are complete. And although most of Creeksquad has no assets, Power Stroke's daddy does have a tiny bit we can take, and that is just what we plan to do. Christmas will be nice this year for the Rodney family, myself, as well as two very fine women.
On today's episode of What the Hell is True Crime and Why the Hell Does It Exist? We're going to talk about the 4 faces of true crime.
I've never seen
Before
a
we
bigger
do that,
simp in
I
my
want to make
life.
sure everybody's aware that, if you got a bunch of dirt on your family that you don't want anybody to know, or maybe you got a great job and you don't want to lose it, make sure to join the true crime community and they'll make all those nightmares a possibility. You can lose a job. You can find out dirt on your spouse that you shouldn't have to find out because it happened years ago, but they fabricate it and make it a big fairy tale and make it seem like it happened yesterday.
Okay. I agree with him. That does happen a lot in the true crime community, but it's also something I'm seeing the Creeksquad now do to others.
Right. And I got to point out, I've been aware of Ryan Upchurch's problems with his family, and I don't go and talk about that as a topic for my content. That's his personal stuff with his family that I don't honestly care about. What I care about is the things that he does as far as victimizing people in the true crime community and families of victims. That's my issue. I don't care about what's going on with his mom or his family or his rap music or his feuds with other rappers. I don't care about that stuff. So I don't take those low blows and I mean, I take some low blows. Sure. I mean, that's when you drag somebody, you do that, but I don't discuss the things that don't pertain to this community, which I care for.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, J-Rod, he's saying here, I was reading through there, is part of the true crime, but he's actually part of the Creeksquad, isn't he? I know, that's why I was confused on some of this in here.
That's all possible in the true crime community. So make sure you guys slide over to the true crime community and go join the soap opera. They're now accepting applications. So without further ado, I present to you the faces of true crime. Let's go. Hey man, it's just...
So I get what he's saying, because a lot of people do turn true crime content into a soap opera. I talked about it just a few days ago. But does he not realize that's what Ryan and them also did as well, with the way that they totally carried on with their theories, even their conspiracies in Kylie's case? And this isn't me hating on Captain Kurt. Like I said, I like him, but this is, I'm just seeing that, it's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black here. And it could just be me. I just wanted to know what you guys all thought about it.
No, you're right. I mean, to call that out is, like you said, pretty hypocritical, because they all do it. I mean, everyone's been doing it. As far as I'm concerned, like, to me, just pointing out, Ryan Upchurch just makes it very easy. He just makes it very easy to make fun of. to make fun of him. So that's why I do it. But again, I don't care about any of the personal stuff in his life. It's none of my business.
Yeah, right on point. And I'm gonna talk some shit for a few hours, man. I'm gonna say some things, some crazy things that don't make no sense. And don't worry, I'll find your loved one. I'll find your loved one in the bottom of the temple of the doom of the doomers. I don't make no sense, but I say Creeksquad, baby, because I'm gonna chase that clout regardless. Gerard on point, Creeksquad. My name's Queen Bee. Welcome to the Hive. I smoke too many cigarettes, and I hate on Zav Girl and Perplex because I really just want to be them deep down inside. I use Ryan Upchurch any opportunity that I get because I feel like why not chase the clout? If the clout's there to chase, the Hive's gonna get it. Don't sting like a bee, kill like a hornet. Tell him, Tim, tell him.
I mean,
What's
it's
good?
really
I'm the Glare,
funny.
and I want to.
Sorry. But it's really funny that he points this out because this dude is the biggest simp for Ryan Upchurch that there is. I've never seen anyone kiss someone's ass more in my life. It's hilarious to me. But go ahead. Yeah, this is just want to point that out.
Yeah, he's very loyal to Upchurch. I'll agree with you on that. He is very loyal to Upchurch.
Blindly.
Right.
Like,
For sure.
I want to share a few things with you guys so you understand who I am as an individual. I'm really cocky, and I think that nobody's better than me. And if it wasn't for me, the universe would not exist. And I will say the only person that is better than me is Ryan Upchurch. Ryan Upchurch is the best true crime community investigator, whatever you want to call it, man. The guy really does it. We're just out here stealing cash apps and super chats. So, yeah, go watch Ryan because without Ryan, the Glare would be nothing. Over and out.
what?
Smoke some cigarettes. Oh, hey, if you don't mind, drop me a cash app. My mom only buys me a pack of cigarettes a week. I appreciate you.
Your mom only buys you a pack a week, but that instantly becomes the argument, right? As soon as you criticize someone or you call them out, they have become the person that builds your channel. I have seen that time and time again. I have been told that time and time again when I'm clipping, if I've clipped a creator 2 or 3 times in a row or reviewed them a couple times, they're like, oh, that person built your channel. I'm like, well, how can they have built it when supposedly this other person built it or this other content did? But you see, like what he just said there, about you, Ryan.
I mean, I am currently in litigation with God over the construction of the universe. He's taking credit for it, and we're going to court.
There you go. He did say, did Captain Kurt say that or Ryan? That Kylie's family was running a child trafficking.
No, see, that's where things get mixed up too, because I'm not going to just let people spread misinformation like that. No, he said that there was that. Well, what the Creeksquad, their self-proclaimed name, they talk about Truckee being just a big cult. All those because they're peace-loving people, and they like to perpetuate the rumor that they're part of a cult, and that's ridiculous. And the sex trafficking thing was Ryan breaking down Ickedmel's name, which is just my favorite video in the world.
Oh my God.
And saying that it's code for some sex trafficking thing, which is just ridiculous. But
well, that's when I thought at that point Ryan was just trolling. I really did not think he was being serious about his claims. When we got up to that and the Ronnie Ickedmel stuff back and forth, and then he was going into, even when he was messing around with Molly Golightly and Justin for All and a couple others, he was just going into everybody's chats. I think the dude was online for like 36 hours straight. I really thought he was just trolling, but then it started to take a more serious.
My whole thing is he wants us all to look up to him because he's this accomplished musician, and he has all this. He has such little time to deal with us dumb true crimers, but he spends so much time on it. You know, like, I mean, if I was a famous musician, I could think of an infinite amount of things better to do than to spin these crazy rumors about true crime YouTube creators. And, you know,
Okay. Checkmate. Sorry, Checkmate's clarifying. She was saying J Rod said it, not Captain Kirk. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you, love. Where do we find out what's legal to say since Ryan's own opinion gets him sued? It's not just his opinion. It would have been one thing if he came in and said, I believe Kylie Rodney is not a real person,
right,
or alluded to that. When you come in with strong, definitive remarks such as, no, she's not real, and
right.
this is why, that you go into a different territory of just it being your opinion. You're trying to put it out there as a fact.
And he
And
asked, I love this because he asked a legitimate question. You
Mhm.
highlighted it, answered him very clearly, and he is like zoning it out with laughter in the chat,
Yeah,
which
that's
I
okay.
find hilarious. This is like what these people always do. Like, they don't want to hear proof. They don't want to hear evidence. They don't, doesn't matter to them. Whatever Ryan Upchurch says is gospel to them. It's insane. People with absolutely no opinions of their own. And here the big thing here is, like you said, that, you know, oh well, he's just, it's not illegal to form your opinion, freedom of speech. That's true, but he didn't just do that.
Right. He
He,
went farther.
right, he stated things as fact that are plain lies. And you can't just go around spreading lies about people and use your very large platform to do that. And to defame the Rodneys for doing this just for money. I mean, I had SF Investigates on my panel just the other day, and he's very close with Kylie's grandfather, and he assured everyone that it's not about the money. And I mean, if it were, then they would have settled. That's why they're not settling. If it were about the money, they would just settle.
Right. They really want, I think they're trying to prove a point, and they deserve to have that chance to try to prove their point that you can't say these things about us or my daughter and it just be nothing. No big deal.
Agreed 100%.
Absolutely. And I don't want to say the name because it looks like your personal name, but someone just bought me 2 coffees on Buy Me a Coffee. So thank you, love, for who that was. I appreciate that. Which I don't normally see those notifications, so I'm glad I saw that live.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what happens. If I'm not looking at my phone when I'm live, I don't see like when someone sends me something
yeah.
outside of a super chat, which is always nice when they do. And I always feel bad because sometimes it's like really generous, like super, or I'm like, what are you doing? You're
Mhm.
crazy. And then
I Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm saying, like, and those are like, I really want to be able to thank them publicly. And a lot of times, like you just happened to you, it's their real name that's attached to it. And
I know, I don't wanna do that. Oh, it's her YouTube name in here too, so thank you, Emily B. I didn't know, sometimes with, actual names, it's hard to tell if someone uses that on YouTube, so thank you, Emily B. Okay, we got Beast Boy in the back. Let me go ahead and just throw this up. This might be interesting. Please, chat, try to be nice. And Beast Boy
I,
and Glarer. Beast Boy, I know you can hear me right now, so I just want to say this. We have had lots of creators who disagree on this panel, and it has never turned into an all-out war. So I hope that both of you can
oh
continue to
no, yeah,
respect
I'm
that.
not. He's shit on my shoe. I'm not talking to that dude. But if you're letting
Okay,
him up, I'll respectfully jump off.
no
Thanks
problem.
for having me.
No problem. Thank you, Blair.
Bye bye.
Bye. Hello, Beast Boy.
He went running. Holy smokes, he's
Well,
afraid of me.
I don't think he's afraid of you. I
No,
think he
he
respects
is.
my panel, and he doesn't want
Nah,
this
he's
to turn into
terrified.
something crazy up
You
here.
might not know, but he's terrified. I'm able to have a civil and peaceful conversation. He's just
Mhm.
terrified of me. That's okay. It's okay. I had
But
a few questions, but it's quite funny that when I had the questions, I was going to ask about his mama, Annie from Tender Life, and how everyone keeps coming at Upchurch, but she doesn't really seem to be getting that much flack.
oh, I
Didn't
think
she
she
not?
is.
Not
Have you
as
looked up her name? She's like
is she sued?
creators are dragging her
Not to
daily.
the level, not to the degree of Upchurch, as well as is she being sued?
Right. Well, I don't think she's being sued right now, but that wouldn't be up to any one of us as creators here on YouTube. It would be up
I can
to,
understand
the
that.
victims to sue if they needed.
100%. And I
Yeah.
agree with that. But I do have to say that I noticed this clear bias. Someone like the Glitter come up here and defends Annie from Tender Life because that's his mama. He's going to milk that for as much subscribers as he can get. But he goes so crazy on Upchurch. That seems extremely hypocritical. And also, I always try to make people aware of this. The Glitter beat his disabled this disabled child, bro. He really did this when he was a child. How we trust in his opinion when it comes to true crime is insane to me, right? That's wild. And this is public information. I have everything clipped, right, of him saying this, but we take him as a valid source of who should talk about true crime or not. That's insane to me.
What
But my
does
main point is that what
Okay.
is what? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to state, I don't know about those facts that you're stating. I don't know if they're true or not, so I'm not going to speak
You
on
check it
them.
whenever you can. It was
But
in his own words. It's a clip of him
I'm
saying
not
it.
going to speak on them because I don't know about them. But
Okay.
why some people do have, horrible pasts. There are several creators on here who have done things in their past. Does
Really?
that mean that they can't currently talk about current hot topic issues and have an opinion on them or review them if they've ever done anything wrong at all ever in their past?
No, my point of saying all of these things, and especially when it comes to Upchurch, the Glare, and all that, is if he just makes a mistake, right, while he's covering true crime, talking about Upchurch, why are people trying to like chase him with like torches and like pitchforks and all these things? And then the Glare could do something extremely horrible, which if you choose to not even investigate this or look this up yourself after the fact, that would be pretty crazy. But
But it
right now, you're
sounds
saying
like
that you don't know. What I'm hold on, I'm about to finish my
sorry.
point. Is that why is he not held to the same fire? Right? How is he, the person who's done something like this, able to try to cancel whoever he wants? This isn't Upchurch isn't the only one. This guy, the Galera, chooses and picks. A lot of people in the true crime community chooses and picks who they think is allowed to talk about true crime, which no one has no kind of jurisdiction or control over that. I just think it's unfair for someone like Upchurch to come out and try to use his platform to help. He might have made some mistakes, of course. I'm not saying what he said was okay. Never going to say nothing like that. But it's crazy how we just turned a blind eye, or someone else like Annie from Tender Life or the Glitter does not get nowhere near the amount of hate that Upchurch or other people might have been getting for making a mistake.
Well, Upchurch is going to get a lot more hate, as you call it, just because he's a much bigger person on YouTube and off of YouTube, where the other two aren't, for one. But for two, you said you've covered whatever, that past is. So it sounds like other people have as well. If you're telling me to go look it up, it sounds like plenty of people have covered it.
Well, so
So
when you're using that
they've
as an
had
example,
those
I can use the
moments.
fact that you
Is
don't
it
know
just
about it
something?
because
Hey, you didn't want me to interrupt you, and I respected that. So please
sorry,
don't interrupt
continue.
me.
Sorry,
But
continue.
it sounds like other people have covered this, have called it out, have drawn attention to it. Are you just wanting it to use it right now in this moment to attack him because he was up here talking about Upchurch, because he's talking
No.
about Upchurch in general? Or is it because I can't cover everyone. You can't cover everybody in the world. Nobody can cover everyone, but it sounds like people are covering those issues. So what is the point of bringing that to attention when today we're here talking about Upchurch and the Creeksquad?
The point of me bringing that to attention is selective outrage and hypocrisy. It sounds like people dance around. Oh, wait, he did. Oh, I don't know. I never heard of this. But you talked about it. But let's not use the fact that I am not aware of it as an example of the lack of information going on out here within the true crime community. It's almost as if you're just saying, oh, yeah, you could do disgusting things, but I didn't see the video. So it is what it is. And also, I'm not stating that you have to
That's
talk about
not what
it.
I'm
Wait,
saying
I
at
thought we
all.
weren't interrupting each other.
No. I will mute you because you're not going to put words in my mouth like that for your content on your channel. I've seen what you do. I did not say that at all. And I do not appreciate you twisting it like that. That's horrible. No, there are plenty of people
That's very unfair.
from the moment he hopped up on this
We're
panel,
interrupting each other now?
people were attacking him.
That's not fair. Wow, I thought we was keeping it fair. I let you
Okay.
speak.
You are very rude, sir. I'm just saying, I give you the opportunity to speak. Don't twist my words like that. It's not even funny. Hey, Cappy.
Hey, oh, he already dropped off, huh?
Oh, I kicked him. I kicked him out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he's one of those type of creators that likes to pretend like they're the only one brave enough to call out, so and so,
There's
which is
so many
totally
people in
not
the
the
chat
case.
doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, he's telling you to go look it up. Obviously, people have covered it. I went full throttle at the Glare and Annie during that other case, and many, like, there was a bunch of people that did it. So let's not pretend like they were never called out on anything. And like him downplaying what Upchurch did by saying he was bringing awareness and made some mistakes. Give me a break. Give me a
Yeah,
flipping break. Did you watch any of his coverage?
he's
Like,
just trying
yo,
to twist what I was saying. I was just saying, obviously, like you're saying, obvious people were covering Glare, they were covering Annie, because you're telling me there's content out there that I can go look up and find. Sure.
right.
So they were doing that. So what is the argument? What is the narrative that you're trying to push? Are you truly upset that people aren't drawing attention to those issues when apparently they are? Or are you just mad that we're talking about Upchurch and I allowed, Glare up here on the panel to have an opinion on it? And to me, it's more the last one.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
I
his
mean,
actions prove
his
that. Like, I
his
can talk.
anger for Will, though, is so has clouded his judgment so much that he supported a woman that lied about being sick and scammed money out of the community.
Right. See, Cappy and I, we don't get along really. Like, well, we just don't see eye to eye. I think it's fair to say that my, it actually brings me to that point. My point being that me and Captain Napton can actually have a conversation. We can agree to disagree and actually have a conversation. This is someone who clearly looks for arguments. Like, he tries to make every conversation into an argument somehow, and I just can't. I won't engage in that. There's nothing productive to come from
And
it.
it's obvious that he doesn't watch my channel. I don't call out what people have done in their past lives or in their lives off of YouTube or their real lives at all, ever. So why would I look into that at all anyway? I draw attention to what is happening here and now on YouTube. So I didn't understand the argument, but
I feel like he's just
And we're
picking
not, and
fights
we're
with
not talking
everyone.
about that. We're not currently talking about that case. Now, that's the only case that the Glare and I don't see eye to eye on. Everything else, like, I agree with what he says. And in regards to like him being abusive and stuff, that was a video that he talked about, like, in the way of taking accountability for his past. So it's like, to bring that up and compare it to the Upchurch situation is just like, it's not comparable at all, because Upchurch isn't taking any type of accountability for anything he did. He's calling this case fake. He's basically, and all of his little like followers like still talk about what a genius he was and how he brought so much light to the case, and it's pretty scary.
I appreciate you saying that, Captain. I mean that.
well, and Twinkles, you put into words what I couldn't express because I got frustrated. But people want us to go back years on every creator when we've only been here a year or so. I don't care what that person did 5 years ago, and I don't. Tell me what you did now and what you're doing now, and if you're doing good now, you're doing bad now. Let's talk about that. Address those things.
Well, DeetS, you know what? Like, if we were going to talk about the long case, you could watch me and we'll have it out right now. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Upchurch and the fuck shit he's done.
Oh, I won't even
do
that now. Like, I mean, because we're gonna. One thing that just peeves me is having the same argument over and over again.
Well, right. No, I'm just giving an example. Like,
but you're right. No, you're right. I mean, that we definitely don't see eye to eye on that in the slightest bit.
Right.
But we're both adults to where we can have conversations about other things where that is not going to affect our conversation on some other topic. It's just not, you know what I mean? Because we're grown-ups. We can do that.
Right. And he's like distracting from what the important issue right now, which is Upchurch and what we're talking about.
Right. But
Well-
in all fairness, it wasn't just him. There was a bunch of other people in the chat.
No,
that
I
were
saw
doing
it. I saw
So,
it.
I mean, it wasn't just VX. It was a bunch of people in the chat that, out of respect for DeetS, I won't call them names anymore. I did already. But yeah, it's.
And I know it is frustrating. You know, we're trying to stay on topic. We're trying to all, you know, converse about one thing, and when others come in and distract. And I know, I get it, guys. We're gonna have that every time when other creators have hopped up on here. The same thing has happened. I just ask that we try to stay on topic here and on the panel, in the chat, because what happens is we totally drift away from what we were originally trying to discuss and bring awareness to, and we go into, you know, completely different territory, and sometimes it just leads to a lot of animosity and anger back and forth in the chat and on the panel, and I hate seeing that.
Well, it's silly. I mean, because these people have this like ocean wave saying that BX was willing to talk. No, BX was looking for an argument. I was not willing to indulge him. Simple. I mean,
Well, I told him I appreciate the fact that you knew you and him were just going to, you know, argue up here, and so you hopped down for that. But
right.
I would have heard him out further. And I see people in the chat are saying that he's able to have a conversation, and maybe he is. But the second that you start twisting my words and saying, you know, I can't interrupt you, but you're capable of interrupting me, we have some issues, and I'm just not going to.
Well, that's the thing, is he's super manipulative when he wants to have a quote unquote discussion. He'll come in like soft spoken and like, I'm willing to have a discussion. And then he'll start interrupting like Loki. And then he'll like put words in your mouth. And like, I've seen him do it like a million times. It's mostly just for like content grab, I think.
You're right, B-Tim. I did hear that. Did Jones unclip it? Because I think that was a good point, that he did call her those things. It was total crap.
He called her all kinds of crap, and he also called her a woke liberal, which she's been open about her political stance on things, and she's not a woke liberal. So
No, she's not.
And supposedly he does research, you know what I mean? But apparently he didn't catch that in all the lives she's had that he's watched, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, and you look at his content, like the dude can't even break 1,000 views on a video. And it's
really,
you know,
because I watched some of his old stuff
He
way
used
back
to.
when I was grabbing. I actually grabbed some clips from him a while
But
back.
the thing
on,
is people.
Molly stuff.
The thing is people became smart to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
People caught on. That's what happened. Like
Yeah.
he kind of fooled everybody by being funny and entertaining, kind of. And then what happened was he just got nasty and ugly and just wanted to argue with everyone. And just for the sake of arguing. It's clear that that's what he does. I mean, he just did it on your panel with you. He was just looking for an argument.
Yeah.
He didn't care what he was arguing about, as long as he was arguing with someone. And then he wants to call people abusive, which is just funny.
I know. And the chat, I'm sorry for kicking him, because I don't normally kick people, but it totally did frustrate me because of the way he talked over me and twisted my words. And so if you're not going to respect things around here, then why? I agree with, you just wanted to hop up for an argument's sake. And
he got super ugly with Jones, and he really did, like calling her the R word, like, and just, I don't know. It was such a turn off. Yeah. And he like, I don't know, man. I can't. I gotta say this. Anyways, he was like, he was talking shit about people calling out heels for racism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he like tried to flip it and say that Jones and had Nikki come up, Boston Nick come up as security. Like, why'd you have him come up? Were you like scared of me? Is my voice too soulful for you? Are you the racist? Like, it was just so like, anybody that thinks that like that was a good and strong and solid argument was, I'm embarrassed. Like, that was really bad.
Yeah, it's always the same with him. Always, always, always. And that's why he doesn't get the views that he used to get, because, like I said, people are on to him now. They see it.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope
it's pretty bad.
someone deleted Daniel's comment, because what we don't do here is we don't attack the victims or their families for no good reason. And that's not a good reason to attack them. That was horrible. Just saying. Hey, Ellie, are you there? I don't know if she's here or not. She keeps popping up and popping down. Bless her heart. Oh, there she goes. All right, let's play a little bit more of this and try to get back on track of what we came to discuss. Oh my goodness.
Yo, so you see what's
I
gonna
haven't seen this
look
one
for
yet.
you if you go missing. So don't go missing. Please don't go missing, because if you do go missing, there's a good possibility that these fools are gonna milk your family out of tons of money. They're gonna post all of your facts about your life all over the internet. Like, yo, it makes, like, I ain't even afraid of death anymore after finding the true crime community. I'm afraid of getting kidnapped or lost and having these idiots pretend to look for me in order to milk every pocket they can find. So yeah.
See, I agree with him. There are so many in this quote unquote true crime community that I wouldn't want.
But the people that he calls out are the wrong people. See, that's what's really funny. I was about to say almost the same thing. That's
Right.
totally what's wrong with the true crime community, are the ones who actually think that they're detectives and think that they're going to somehow contribute to an investigation, when in fact they're impeding on it and they're hindering it. So I agree with that, but he thinks that that's what I do. He thinks that that's what whatever other creators that he mentioned do. He thinks that's what Ickedmel does. He thinks that that's what Zanime does. Zanime is not even true crime. So, I mean, I don't even watch Zanime's channel. I don't know what she does. You know what I mean? But I
Like, he's
don't.
mostly called out you and Queen and Ickedmel and
Some
what's the
J-Rod.
other one?
Yeah.
J-Rod a little bit. I mean, J-Rod was kind of in the conspiracy theory zone with them, though. But, like, this guy right here, I mean, the ball's on him, because I went back and looked at some old content from 10 months ago when they were doing case discussion. He's literally talking about himself and his buddy. Like, they thought they were detectives. They thought they were on it. Like, the way they behaved. I mean, come on. Like, him and Ryan coming out making fun of people for being true crime detectives. Okay.
Ryan's
Come on.
Adderall Wallhole wins handle of the day, by the way. That's just too funny. That's just too funny. Like, the avatar is just so good.
I know, Liplock, I agree with a lot that he says. But like Cabby said, sometimes I think that some of it's just directed at the wrong individuals. But the things that he's saying, I do agree with. I agree.
Sure.
I would totally take his word as gospel if him and his friends weren't doing the same thing, though. He's literally talking about exactly what him and his friends did.
Ooh, so true, Tracy. That's the issue, is that's not the true. And I noticed that on his, I don't know if it was in Captain Kurt's last video or his live, but all these creators that he's mentioning as the true crime community, I'm like, bud, that's not true crime. That's not true crime podcasts. You got to
Right.
look up, find some actual true crime podcasts, and then you would know what the true crime community is. But what you're showcasing is mainly just this trauma community.
Right.
Well, and like, okay, so me and Queen and the Glare as well kind of have things in common in the way of, we'll call out like misinformation, we'll call out like fuck shit surrounding the cases, like don't treat the families bad. And you know, like, you can call that trauma because it kind of is, but it's also like with some purpose, though. You know what I mean? And he can make fun of that all he wants, and you know, he's just salty because his bestie is, you know, at the receiving end of that.
Yeah,
because
beats
of
him
the
is
things he
making a
did.
good point, because, like, I don't, you know, and this is not to criticize or anything. I'm just saying I don't like open my panel and get on back and forth with people. You know, that's where the drama comes in. So I try to actually avoid that. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, and I'm not saying that I'm, you know, that I don't make these kind of mistakes, but I actually make a conscious effort to try to avoid back and forth, drama. I just call out shitty behavior that makes the entire community look bad, in my opinion, and I try to be entertaining when I do it. That's all I do.
And I would agree. That's more of commentary, criticism than it would be, just drama. But some of them are actually drama channels. I think so. But
well, I mean, like I think he threw like Kate Does Crime in there, and Kate doesn't do any drama on her channel.
No,
Like she just does case coverage,
Well, he threw her in as a good point. He said that she was a real true crime channel, I do believe.
No, but I think that's afterwards, because I saw her in the comments saying like, "Why are you lumping me in?" And then I think he said that after she,
Okay,
or he's like clearing her name, kind of, or something, because like she mods for Queen. I don't know. I might be giving you misinformation.
I just was watching his latest live right before this, and he was giving her like props for being true crime. So he might have said it before that she wasn't, but he was giving her props in the last live.
Okay, good.
But,
Good Egg is so angry. Jeez. Good Egg.
She's a mean egg. I'm telling you.
I know, but I wish she'd.
She's a meanie.
Let's go here.
Yeah, that's the faces of true crime. And I don't think everybody in true crime is horrible. In fact, why mess with the rest when you could be watching the best? Ryan Upchurch is the new number one YouTube investigator.
Okay, wait. So he says, let's hear it one more time, and then I'm gonna say something.
I don't think everybody in true crime is horrible. In fact, why mess with the rest when you could be watching the best? Ryan Upchurch is the new number one YouTube investigator.
How can Upchurch be the number one YouTube investigator when I have it on good authority that JLR is the number one? I'm going to need to see some stats from the two of them to see who is actually the number one YouTube investigator, JLR or Upchurch. What do you guys think? Let me know down there in the comments.
I mean, for real though, listen, like Kurt is halfway joking and trolling.
Yeah.
But the other half, like this guy has Ryan Upchurch's autograph tattooed on him. The amount of nut juggling this fool does, like he's half serious.
Yeah, totally. Like I've never seen anyone so far up Upchurch's ass in my life besides
It's
Dolly.
really bad.
Yeah. Like I think he's worse, but yeah, Dolly comes a close second for sure.
My goodness. Yeah, Dolly's pretty bad too.
Yeah, true crime takes research, storytelling, respect at all times for the victims, a hell of a lot more than what's exposed to us in this small. Right, we're just a small little niche of YouTube, a very small niche of YouTube. There are real true crime creators out there getting, hundreds of thousands and millions of views on their content because it's true crime content.
Right.
This isn't. This is theories, speculation, conspiracies, rumors, things like that. It's not real. It's not true crime.
Did you guys say he has a tattoo of Ryan Upchurch's autograph on him?
What?
I didn't know that.
Cappy just said that.
Yeah.
Captain Kurt has that?
Yeah.
What? Oh.
What? He has an autograph tattoo of Upchurch?
Me too.
I believe
like,
that's well, because I remember Gotcha Man made like a joke about how Ryan has like bought Kansas Rebel Man a truck and some other fan or friend a truck, and you just got your little autograph tattoo. like making fun of him because he got like the shitty present or something. It's really funny, but I think that it's true because I think when he went down there, because remember like one of the Kylie Rodney live streams or videos, he was like sitting on the steps behind Ryan in the video, and he was down there. I think he did get this autograph tattoo that I think it was Gotcha Man was talking about. But yeah.
And like, is it messed up? Call me out on this, but is it messed up if I actually give JLR more respect than Ryan Upchurch as a as a creator. Like,
Why?
I don't
Because
know. I'm going to think about that one.
because he goes on scene. The dude made over
Oh, I hate that he goes
70
on scene.
videos on one situation within like 6 days. I can't with him.
70, literally 70. Yeah.
It's insane.
Oh
I mean, they're
God.
on the same level of like conspiracy theory bullshit, like stuff that can really fuck a case up if we're talking seriously. But I don't know.
No, and you're right.
JLR puts more effort in, I think.
Ocean Wave, you're right. They say I have a tattoo of someone I respect. No big deal, my opinion. I don't get it. My son has a freaking Kobe Bryant tattoo, and I laugh at him for that too because I think
Kobe
he's just
Bryant, though.
Yeah, but that's Kobe. Like,
That's Kobe. Come on.
gets
It's
a-
not Ryan
famous
Upchurch.
people on your
Yeah.
body.
who gets a YouTuber's autograph tattooed on him, dude? Like, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, he's an artist,
too.
but come on, listen. It is weird. Like, I love the Ramones, but I'm not gonna get like Joey Ramone on me.
That's
Like,
what I'm
I
saying.
guess, and I'm not gonna take if Joey Ramone was alive and being a YouTuber covering cases. If he started speaking on some bullshit, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, what Joey says is true. You know, like, come on.
Yeah.
I just think that it's like something that you would regret having a famous person tattooed on your body. I don't know. I just feel like that's why I laugh at my kid too. So I'm gonna laugh at.
Kobe was exonerated, Boogeyman. Shut up. Like, the man's dead.
I saw that.
Respect.
Yeah, leave him. Let him.
Well, you
Show
can't
some
talk about anyone in here. They'll come at you for everything.
Right? I was like, oh wow, Kobe, come on.
Yeah, my son
Kobe.
is basketball.
Yeah, that's Kobe Bryant. That's not even fair to compare, DeetS.
No.
Like,
I'll sign your
Not
own.
even. Come on.
Yeah, like, I follow Joe Rogan on Instagram, and he posts because people get his portrait tattooed on them. It's insane.
It's
Like,
weird.
I like Joe Rogan, but dude,
To get
Yeah.
his state, Cordy, I knew you had a Chasing Truth tattoo. I knew.
That's like Pete Davidson has like Hillary Clinton on him, Kim Kardashian's kids' names now, or maybe not. You know, I mean, it's
I mean,
everything.
some
But
people get like outrageous and joke type tattoos, but
yeah,
I don't think that Kurt has like ridiculous tattoos from what I can see. Like, he just has normal art tattoos, and then he gets like, I don't know. I think it really means a lot to him.
it's
Like, you see him on his channel, like talking about like just the way he talks about it's so weird.
I have a portrait of Jack Nicholson on my forearm, Tracy Ann, actually.
I will judge you, and you know I'll
That's cool.
judge you. And I'm judging the glare now too for having that tattoo.
for Jack,
Hey,
but it's Jack.
Well, it's the character he played in a movie, technically.
Oh,
That's
like a Shining.
yeah. No, well, it was R.P. McMurphy. One Flew Over the Cuckoo. It's my favorite movie, and he's my favorite character. And so, yeah, I got that tattoo when I was much younger, but I don't regret getting it. You know, I'm really happy with it. I got it done by a really, really good, talented artist that I was really lucky to get to work with. And so it's a great little memento that I'm stuck with forever.
And so is Kurt.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have one tiny tattoo, and I said, nope, no more, never again, because I'm a wussy when it comes to pain. Not a fan. I'm suing my mom, and I'm a 40-year-old horrible country rapper.
Like, literally, like, it's called crap, like, for short. It's called crap music for short. It's great. It's so funny. But I mean,
go ahead. Hon.
Well, I mean, it's fair to give the guy credit for making all of his money, but at the same time, it's one of those situations where it's like, you know, once you have the money, there's a lot of work that goes into keeping it and managing it, and he doesn't seem to be doing a very good job of it.
Right.
I mean, he put his mom in charge. I mean, you've seen her videos. I would not put that woman in charge of my piggy bank. You know, like, that's crazy to me.
Poor Ryan. He's got so many problems right now. All those lawsuits.
Poor Ryan, my ass, dude.
I'm joking.
Had it coming.
Okay, so B10 sent me a video. I think we'll review that one next, B10. I like that. Let's finish this. That'll be a good one to review. Thank you, B10. Let's see.
So why watch the rest when you can watch the best, man? I love y'all. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And remember, be nice to one another.
Okay, I think that was it. All right, let me pull this other one up. It's pretty. Well, I haven't listened to it yet, but I thought this would be a good one.
Oh, is this like from the vault from like a year ago?
No, it's current. It was just dropped
current.
an hour ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'm curious as to what it says. We'll see.
The Faces of True Crime.
If I can find the guy.
Or True Clout, question mark. I was going to talk about the glare in this one.
All right, here we go. This is from BX Beast Boy from an hour ago. I will drop his link in the chat because it's like that.
So hard, this guy.
Description. Go check out the description. Fang Gang merch. I want to talk about the whole Ryan Upchurch and the family of Kylie Rodney situation. If you don't know who Ryan Upchurch is, he's a dope musician, fam. I have a few reactions on my reaction channel to a lot of his music, man. It's really, really interesting. I think that he has
Okay, fair. I like some of Upchurch's music. Not all, but some.
a dope singing voice as well as cool, super
Yeah,
cool.
I really like when he dressed up like a
But I
Confederate
digress. You don't know
soldier.
about Kylie Rodney.
That was
When he-
real cool.
What?
When he dressed up like a Confederate soldier in one of his videos, talking about necks being so red. Man, that's good stuff.
Ooh.
Can
I
you
missed that
hear
one.
the sarcasm in my voice?
I think so.
But it's just pride. Yeah.
What do Nanya? I don't know what I consider my channel because there are some lives where we do nothing but true crime, and I wouldn't allow any drama to happen on those lives. And then there's lives like these where it's just kind of like covering what's happening in this community. So probably Krama, I would say, just to be legit, probably just Krama. But there are, times where I do videos or lives that are about true crime, and I definitely want to make sure that we are empathizing with those victims when we cover them.
Right.
Rodney, that was a young woman who went missing and was later on, her death was determined to be accidental. Right now, why do these two things connect? Well, because when this young woman first went missing, everyone's going crazy trying to find them, right? Totally understandable. And then Upchurch, who had a huge platform, wanted to help out and speak about this. In doing so, a lot of speculation happened. It was kind
He wanted to help out, and so his way of helping out was speculating. Okay.
and speak about this. In doing so, a lot of speculation happened. It was kind of crazy. He said a lot of wow statements. I gotta call a spade a spade. He was wilding out to some degree.
So with that being said, everyone telling me I should be ashamed of myself. How dare you say that, oh, this is faked? Show me that it's real. Show me proof of Kylie Rodney. Show me proof of Sammy Smith.
Never gets old.
When people say all he was doing was speculating, like he is telling you here, my point is a fact. Prove to me that I'm wrong.
Right.
How can they not see that he's definitively stating she is not real? But I don't.
Serious he looks.
Show me proof of Mag. Show me proof of those people. Show me proof of Ronnie. Why don't you try chasing down who Anime is or Ickedmel? You can't tell me who any of those people are. You're not going to find shit.
Now, this isn't.
I mean, your taste in music matters. Like, have you ever met an Insane Clown Posse fan? You're probably not going to have an intelligent conversation with them. It's probably not. So it's just the fan base that he has is not generally made up of intelligent, critical thinkers.
What about father and son?
Right. Oh my gosh. And the time when they were doing the math equation, I died laughing. I thought they were joking. They were so serious that time.
Yeah.
It was so comical.
Isn't going to be the normal video of, oh, Upchurch was wrong. He was evil. Of course, he was wrong. I think he's even come out to apologize for saying certain things.
No, he hasn't.
No, he has not apologized. And in fact, he's doubled, tripled, quadrupled down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It would be
Pretty
one
much.
thing if he did apologize. That would be a completely different thing. But here's the thing, people like this guy are spreading around that he came out and apologized. Where?
Right.
Show it. Where's that clip in here? If he came out and apologized, you'd easily be able to find that clip.
No, he definitely didn't. He in the community post, he was like, "I don't care. Whatever I said, I said. Too bad." Pretty much.
Yeah.
That was his community
Yeah, he's
post.
standing by it, which is his
Yeah.
right to do, to stand
That's
by
right.
it. But a
Yeah,
judge
of course.
can absolutely determine whether
Right.
he's
I love
accountable.
it. I love it.
But I want to point out the clear hypocrisy in a lot of things, and even channels that are talking about this. Upchurch was not the only person to speak on this situation and actually add speculation. Now,
Has anybody here ever claimed that Upchurch was the only person to speculate and add horrible theories to this case? Because I don't know one creator who has reviewed Upchurch or commentated on Upchurch's activities during the case or during the lawsuit. I don't know anyone who has claimed he was the only one to do so, because
Oh, definitely
he
not.
absolutely wasn't.
People are
There was-
still doing it. Squirrels on Fire is still on fire with all of this. They do
She is. She's going nuts over there with content.
One lady, man, and I don't know her name, but she is wacky as hell, man.
Probably
Probably
the same
squirrels.
person.
Yeah, probably squirrels. So
I don't know. She usually streams from like her living room or whatever. I
Oh.
checked out Squirrels on Fire to see if that was her, and I don't think it was.
Oh. That
yeah.
Lost Souls chat.
Maybe
Another one that
Let me
does
look-
it still
let me look that
too.
up. Let me
Or
look that
there's
up.
like a couple that are still doing it that I've seen, because they come up in my feed from like last year. I bet the chat will know. They know.
Well, the problem
Yep.
is that when you type in something like Lost Souls, like a million other things
Oh
come
yeah,
up.
let me look and see. I'll look at my like list.
I'm a juggalo. I just saw Forever Drilling say that. Why did you ask that? I'm going up to see what.
No, not Plunder. I'm not a fan of Plunder.
I like Plunder.
Yeah, I get a lot of flack for not liking Plunder. But whatever.
People can like or dislike whoever they want.
Right. Yeah,
Like-
totally.
All right. Well, I'm not a fan of SF, and you obviously are covering. And Rabbit is too. That's cool. I'm not a huge fan of him.
No, I understand that. My thing with SF is he has information. Like I don't have an opinion about the guy one way or the other, honestly. But he has information, and he is a licensed investigator. So
He has a connection with the grandfather, right?
And he has a connection with Kylie Rodney's grandfather, and that holds some credibility. Of course, anybody who I speak to on the internet I'm gonna take with a grain of salt for sure. But
You have to.
yeah. It doesn't upset me that people are like, "How dare you talk to SF and give him a platform?"
Well, he had that crazy theory that people still disagree with. Remember the theory that he had that she was like doing donuts or something, and like, remember his crazy theory?
Yeah,
that happened on the bank.
Really wild one.
Right, but that's before.
I'm just saying that's why people still disagree with him. But no, even after the fire cam, he still had that thing. That was still his. They said it was a different time in the fire cam, and this is what happened. So I don't know.
He says that he's the one who discovered the fire cam, and the New Yorker says he's the one that discovered the fire cam, and that was before that theory is before Gray Hughes had overlapped the footage with the daytimes where you could actually see. So I mean, you got to admit those headlights are kind of going crazy. There's a lot of twists and turns.
Yeah.
So it's not
He might have different footage because he said he saw it like on a bigger screen and such, right? He said he saw it on like equipment and such, somehow.
Right.
I mean, how,
it's not, but it's not a theory that is damaging to the reputation of Kylie Rodney or anybody. You know what I mean? It's just a theory.
No.
The fact of the matter is she left the party, and most likely she was intoxicated because it was a party. And You know, it's not crazy to speculate as to what her behavior may or may not have been like after
Yeah.
the fact.
People did a lot worse than that. People thought that
Sure.
she
Sure.
like overdosed and she was pushed into the,
Oh,
by
there
her
was so many
friends. Did
conspiracies.
it? Yeah,
So
I mean,
many.
so many things.
It was
You know,
insane. Did he
it
get to
was
go
so crazy.
on a jury field trip? I don't know who JLR's Jim Shorts is, but they're hilarious.
Damn. Yeah, man. That's
Well, I don't know why he's trying to get it over here off my name. It's not going to bring him a ton of views. He needs to pick a bigger
Well,
fish. than me.
Glare, because Glare was up here, and he's like,
Yeah.
he's like upset with Glare and Jones, and it seems like, or he's going after them because of he's buddies with,
obsessed.
Perplexed, and he's
making videos about me for years.
Oh really?
Oh,
gosh.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Oh,
Nana, calm down. If you're gonna type, stop shaking. You know, if you're gonna type and like just enunciate with your fingers. You can do it.
Shut up, Glare. Shut up.
You're clouding.
Just calm down.
He's not clouding off of. Oh, you mean the situation with Ryan? I'm like, he's not clouding over here. I'm a much smaller channel than him. I get what you're saying, though. Sorry, I had a moment.
Kurt, if anyone's, Kurt is definitely clouding. I mean, all of a sudden he's like, my buddy, doing videos out of nowhere.
Why do we have to always go to that claim that people are trying to get clout or they're trying to get clicks and views off of someone else's name? Like, why can't people just want to review content because they want to review content? I don't think that it's always not in everybody's situation. I don't think Kurt's. I mean, maybe he is off Upchurch, but I don't think he's trying to get clout or clicks and views off of the people that he's reviewed. I don't think that. I think it's bizarre that a lot of people instantly jump to that.
No, I think in Kurt's case, he's just trying to impress Ryan Upchurch. He's a fan, and
and he's linking himself with this lawsuit. He's saying it's like aimed at him, so he's trying to put himself like associate with him.
Yeah, not everybody.
He's always done. I feel like his friends, whatever,
Yeah, not everybody is obsessed with getting clicks and views. I mean.
Yeah, there's other reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people sometimes they just want to review something for the sake of reviewing it. I like when we're able to have a community discussion in here, but I just find it bizarre that that's always the instant jump to of, oh, they're trying to get clout. Like, really, because typically most times the person that they're reviewing is someone that they don't necessarily want clout off of. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But just attention in general, just like eyes on them. People just like attention in general.
Just talk about something that interests them. Exactly. This whole true crime community, well, not even the true crime community, but like the trauma community is interesting. Like, I find it very interesting what people have done and created here on YouTube. And so sometimes people just want to, have a conversation about that. Cappy doesn't think that he's a clout chaser. She does think that he is an ass kisser. Okay.
I mean, if he does have a tattoo of him on him, I don't know.
I completely agree with Captain on that statement.
All right, let's see what else Beast Boy has to say.
I call out a lot of people that have done such. A lot of people ignoring the fact that Annie from 10 to Life did the very same thing. But you know what makes it worse? No accountability. She just deleted it, just removed those videos, and just, I don't know what happened. Whoopsie.
Annie has spread lies. They say they're against gossiping. Annie has gossiped, speculated too much. She came for Sophie Long's mother in the Kelly Long case. She was coming for a bunch of teenagers in the Kylie Rodney case. Okay, teenagers were literally being blamed and bullied because of some of these channels. She always claims she has inside sources, inside information. She'll put up stuff that's not correct, and she'll either ignore it or delete it and act like it never happened. Annie does very problematic stuff. And for her to upload graphic photos of a child to her Patreon and then advertise it as early release and uncensored is disgusting. And for channels like Down the Rabbit Hole, The Glare, and all these people to defend her actions while condemning Zav Girl is extremely hypocritical and very biased, in my opinion. And I think Annie should be called out, just like they're calling out these other channels who are doing the same stuff.
Another thing I want to touch on.
But she's wrong. She's wrong.
Well, I don't know what Annie put out pertaining to that situation. I know that Rabbit has spoke on it. I'm sure you can tell us what she ended up putting out as about a minor behind a paywall or whatever. But I do know that there has been a couple of things that she has spread misinformation, and that's why I just, I unsubbed and stopped watching her for that. And that was like, I don't even know if I was a channel yet. But
What happened
TikTok.
What happened simply was a completely separate case. And the content that she put out behind a $1 tier on Patreon was because YouTube wouldn't allow her to post it.
Mhm.
So that it was not autopsy photos, it was footage from news
Crime
sources.
scene.
It
I heard
was
it was crime
footage from
scene photos.
no, it was
Okay.
footage from news sources that 2020 posted, that Dateline posted, that they put in their TV shows or whatever. She didn't do anything that any major television network didn't do. She only put it behind the $1 tier, the cheapest possible one, because she knew there was more content. And so in order to give you that access, there was that minimum tier to put it behind, and that's what she did. So, I mean, I don't know what Nonsense has. I mean, I was in Nonsense's chat the other day. She was talking about how evil that movie is, the Sound of Freedom movie is, and I was just kind of asking, like, I was like, because she was trashing it she was trashing the producers and the studio for promoting it, and I was like, well, doesn't every movie do that? And she was indulging me for a minute, and then she lost her temper and started going off on me about Annie, and I left. I was like, wow, okay. Because it had nothing to do with what we were talking about. She was like, I know that Annie promotes this movie, and I know that you're here to defend Annie. And I was like, I didn't even bring her up.
Nonsense you're talking about? Did that?
Yeah, totally. And I just left. I was like, wow. And I just left. But yeah, she had her husband next to her, and I honestly, I don't care what her opinions are of Annie. I know a lot of people. DeetS, I'm on your panel right now. You don't like Annie. That's fine.
Well, I can't say I don't like her. I don't know her to not like her. I just know that there was a couple of her TikToks that I saw that were flat out wrong. It was during the Idaho. No, it wasn't. It was Quentin Simon's case. They were just flat out misinformation, and I was just. But like I said, I didn't even clip it or anything. It was just like, nah, I'm just not going to follow this person. But she has exploded, and it sounds like there are a lot of people calling her out. Kind of like what I said to BX. If you type her name in, I know Housewives. I just saw her the other day. I saw her channel for the first time. I know she's been calling it out. And I know there are other channels that like Nonsense that brings attention to it. So there are people that are calling it out. So is it just, that's why I think the outrage is just at the fact that they want you to call it out. They want Queen to call it out. They want this specific creator that they watch to call it out. And so then they're upset when that specific creator does it.
But it doesn't apply. That's the issue. It doesn't apply. If Annie had done what Zav Girl did, then I would probably call it out. But she didn't. I spoke with Annie privately on the situation. She showed me exactly like receipts, and she even asked me, don't say nothing about it. And I'm like, well, I'm getting called out. So, you know what I mean? She's like, yeah, I don't need it. Because the bottom line is the bigger you get, the more people are going to criticize you. It's just how it is. It's the nature.
It is similar, the two things, though. You got to look at it. It's $1 versus $3. I mean, Zav's lowest was $3
That's
too.
what you're focusing on, but the reason being is Zav Girl put it out to make money. Annie put out the $1 tier because that's the minimum that you're allowed to do on Patreon, and she knew that Patreon was not going to censor her content. So she couldn't put it out on YouTube because YouTube was censoring her.
That's the exact same thing, pretty much.
And here's my question for that. It's just a question. Should it be put out at all? If you have to go through all those links to get something uploaded, should it even be uploaded? Is it that imperative to what? And I don't know what case this was on, but is it that imperative if you have to go through
photos or crime scene photos? They're part of the case. It's much different than showing the dead body of an 11-year-old boy who has no say, you know, who was murdered. So showing crime scene photos that aren't necessarily graphic, but could still be triggering, which is just YouTube playing the safe route. But that's the same thing with my channel. Like I don't censor myself and say R or SA because I don't like, I don't care about ad revenue that much. So when I talk about these things, I look at it like if I censor myself, I feel like I'm placating my audience, like I'm treating them like children, and no kids are watching my channel. These are issues.
I hope not.
Right. These are issues that need to be discussed. So I don't censor myself for that reason. But some people, when it comes to ad revenue, that they depend on that. And there's nothing wrong with that. So when she put out that stuff that is going to cost her ad revenue, well, she's like, okay, well, these are important details in the case. And my audience are adults, and here's an option to where you can see those things. That was not autopsy photos of an 11-year-old murdered boy. Very different.
I know we're getting a little off track, but I'm curious about this. Nanya, she used MGL as a source in the Marvin McRae stuff?
She did, and she apologized for it.
Oh, good. Oh, good, because I'm like,
yeah,
that's not...
She did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I did hear, I don't know if y'all heard Molly on Laura's panel the other night. She was big mad that she tried to give, did she give Annie information? Or she tried to give it to her and Annie didn't want it. I don't know, but she was like going off about it. It was very hilarious. I do think it's different. One was an autopsy and a very graphic photo of a dead child, from what I understand. Annie put out crime scene pics from a case file. The problem is when we get outraged, and I see what Ellie's saying, because someone up here mentioned it too. I think it was my girl, Checkmate Humanity. No. If it was already on network TV, why would YouTube mute it? That's my question too, because what Zav Girl put out is on YouTube, and it still is on YouTube to this day. So I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of different perspectives on things, and some things run crazier than others. And I think, like you were saying earlier, as you become a bigger channel, as you get, to that 100K mark or over it and beyond, you're held to a different level and more scrutiny, more and more scrutiny.
Sure. I mean, it's just so funny. Like, I mean, as soon as Annie puts out photos of a dead child, yeah, I'll criticize her for it. But until then, it's just so funny that people are just, oh my God, you're a hypocrite because Annie's your friend. Like, that has nothing to do with anything. Me and Annie disagree on almost everything, but we're friends. That one thing has nothing to do with the other. Like, we disagree on almost everything. When we discuss cases behind the scenes, we disagree on almost everything. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with whether or not we're friends,
Well, and I would agree that if they were crime scene photos, it would be the same if they were a dead child, like you're saying here, Tracy. It'd be, I don't know what they were.
They weren't. They weren't.
I don't know, guys. I'm reading. I can't answer those questions. It would be yeah, B-Tim, I think that's a great idea. Let's just play a little further along.
When it comes to this is accountability. Now the family is suing and they're saying, hey man, you was out here spreading misinformation. But if Upchurch not only contributed large amounts of money to the cause, not only apologized for it, he's not the only one who did speak on this in this matter.
That's a lie.
Where does it end? Do you actually want accountability or maybe some income? Now I see a lot of people saying that maybe that's the difference between Upchurch and a lot of other content creators. I would probably agree. Because other than that, the only thing I can think of is maybe political ideology, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea. Yes, Upchurch made mistakes, but how long are we going to hold him to the fire for, especially if he took accountability? It really doesn't make any sense. Upchurch actually spoke out about this. He doesn't seem to be taking it seriously, especially none of the backlash he's getting from true crime curators. And I do understand that. These guys do pretend to be professional investigators and be trying to solve crimes. And it's like, nah, son, we just review, right? And if you think about it in the sense of true crime creators or even people that talk about true crime are just reviewing what they see. The speculation ain't that big of a deal, but what makes the difference is the fact that Upchurch has a platform. I have to say that.
The investigation to what agitated in
No, I don't think there is a I don't think that's right, because there are plenty of channels, myself included, that commentate on people that aren't to Upchurch's level. You know, that even much smaller channels that have 1 or 2,000 subs, if they're putting out misinformation, if they're attacking victims, if they're attacking their families, then yeah, a lot of people are drawing attention to that. And one person can't cover everybody. So there are lots of different types of commentating channels. So find the ones that you like that are covering different things, and get a nice mix of creators that are covering like Nonsense. She's been going over a lot of interesting stuff lately that I hadn't heard about with the Tyler Feller stuff. So there are lots of great creators out there covering completely different people. It's right now, this is a hot topic. This lawsuit is a hot topic. So it might feel like everybody's talking about it, but I don't think everybody's talking about it. Not everybody on all of YouTube.
Oh yeah, you can't lose on the pause game with Upchurch. Like you could, it doesn't matter when you pause him. It's always a good pause. Always. That guy's just got permanent meth face constantly.
He's got some funny faces, that's for sure. Oh my goodness. All right, let's hear what he has to say.
assaulted Ryan Upchurch's eyeball was never solved, but sparked new interest in Illuminati conspiracies.
Overall, I would just like people to keep a fair playing field. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it fair, right? Why just try to condemn him and then let other people slide? How about we just don't go so hard to try to judge and destroy people? We allow them to learn from their mistakes and do better. Because if we can't do that, the world that we live in is going to be a horrible, horrible place. Stop trying to cause more of a divide. This man was out here trying to help. He was trying to use his platform to help. Now, might he have done some things that might have been misguided, especially because he might have felt attached to the story, right? And had some kind of emotional connection. Yes, he could definitely have messed up. But
this video is proof that BX does no research at all whatsoever. Like,
well, I've seen this being said a lot on the streets, in comments, in other people's channels. You'll have the people that come in and say, and Nana, I can't remember her full name, but Nana Leah, she's in here. We kind of disagree on this too. People will come in and say, but he donated a car and $100,000.
But he didn't, though.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did. It's on AWP's website where, well, they have said that he did. And someone in here said that he showed the receipts. I haven't seen them, but even if he didn't, whatever. But if the argument is that he donated a car and $100,000, how does that make what he said okay? It doesn't make what he said about Kylie's father, and Kylie's grandpa, let alone all the other people that he said things about throughout that case. How does the donation make it okay?
I saw Ryan Upchurch on his own video say that he tried to contact AWP to give them their reward and they would not respond to him. That's what I heard him say. So that's what I'm going based on.
Here, I'll show you what we found.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying I'm just basing my information on what he said on one of his videos. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. They just said on, and I'll just go ahead and show it here, refresher for everyone. But they said on their facts page, I gotta find it again, because we kind of went over this the other day. We were trying to, it was a question a lot of us had, because I didn't think he had done it either. Here we go. So right here, this is on Adventures with Purpose, their website, and this is under their frequently asked questions. It is, I heard Ryan Upchurch donated $100,000 to AWP. Yes, that is correct. After the Kylie Rodney case, Ryan made a donation to AWP in the amount of $100,000 on September 15th, 2022. With 2 AWP teams on the road working cold cases mid-September through the end of October, 100% of this donation was used to help cover the $160,000 budget they have. And then they thank Upchurch. And then the next question is, I heard Upchurch donated a $100,000 Hellcat to AWP. And it says Ryan Upchurch donated his Hellcat to one of AWP's employees that was responsible and on scene in the discovery of Kylie Rodney. The transaction was outside of AWP, and AWP did not benefit from this donation. So But my
Okay.
point is still the same.
Right.
How does that make what he said okay? Just because he gave money, because he's the one who came on here and said, "Yeah, I'll donate $100,000 to," or actually it was the Hellcat first. He came on and said, "I'll donate a Hellcat to whoever, has information leading to the discovery of her." I think he made those claims because he didn't think she was real. He didn't think he was going to be out anything.
Well, that was before he had made the claims that Kylie Rodney wasn't real. Because first his whole narrative was that her friends were responsible, and then her family
True.
was responsible, and then it was, well, she's not even real. That it turned into that. But Mo is making a good point. I mean, so he donated to the people who also helped spread the narrative that her loved ones were
Yep.
responsible for her
Sure
death.
did.
I
Sure
mean,
did.
how's that a good look?
Sure did.
And like you said, the overall point is, where's the accountability? That doesn't make anything that he did okay in any way, shape, or form.
I think so. True Crime Time, I think she says a lot of people have said the same things. Why specifically are they going after him? Because of his status or money, or was he more egregious? His lawyers will claim this is targeted, unfortunately. I think they're probably going after him because he does have the bigger platform. He did spread
Sure.
out to way more people that things, and he stated them as fact.
Right. And Yep is making a great point. Freedom of speech has never meant freedom of consequence. Agreed.
Right. Well, a lot of people think that. They think that freedom of speech, and we've seen this with Bullhorn Betty, they think that freedom of speech means you can say whatever you want. That's not
Right.
what freedom of speech is.
No.
Your freedom of speech is against the government. You don't have the right to
Can I
say
say
whatever you
something?
want, whenever you want.
Can
Yes.
I'm sorry, there's a lawnmower in the background. Hopefully, it won't be too fucking loud. But anyway, this guy during his BX video, he's basically claiming that the whole lawsuit is for political ideology. Like the parents give a fuck if Ryan Upchurch is a right wing or whatever. That's not the case, and it's all
Right.
about money. That's bullshit. Okay,
It is.
it's absolute fucking bullshit. And honestly, that this guy is like, well, Ryan tried. No, Ryan made a promise to AWP to give the money. Okay, he said it in one of his like rants, and people gave him a lot of fucking pressure to do it. And eventually, he did it. Congratulations, you did the right thing there. You promised money that you were supposed to give, and you gave it. But this whole idea that Ryan cared about the family, the mother was crying for them to stop, and they did not stop. They continued on and on and on and on. And this guy, like Kurt, was on the same podcast with Ryan, looking up fucking kids from this area. Okay, it went a lot farther than what this guy, this BX, is trying to say. No, and the problem is BX is like so blinded by hatred towards a certain content creator on this podcast that he doesn't really realize that there is no defensible position for Ryan Upchurch. Ryan Upchurch went in there and he did these fucking things, and you're being a hypocrite, BX, because you're so filled with hatred towards the glare. You can't see your favorite singer, Ryan Upchurch, fucked this case up and fucked over a lot of people in this community. Jagger had to basically go into hiding. Sammy had to go into hiding. You got Zanime, who's being hacked. You had Ronnie Jones. You had all these. You got Ickedmel being accused. You had the family of Ryan Upchurch, like the family of Kylie Rodney, being accused of being two different people, and it was all for a GoFundMe scheme. It's ridiculous, BX. Do some goddamn research before you come on here and pretend that you give two shits about the family. You're going after the family like this? No, absolutely not. I go against anyone that goes against the family.
Watching my reviews of Ryan Upchurch is not sufficient research. No. It's not, which is all he does. He just, he is absolutely, totally allowing his hatred for creators such as myself and anybody else that he mentions.
Yeah, he's being a hypocrite because he's so fucking filled with anger towards you.
Right,
I mean, that he is blinded. So he wants to be the opposite end of whatever you want to do, like whatever you is. It's like, listen. You can't do that if you're going to be a commentary channel. Sometimes a person does something that you don't like, but it's good. You have to give them credit once in a while.
Sure.
And that's his problem. and he wants to come in here and talk to women. Like, that's another thing I want to talk about. How the fuck do you come up on this thing and start talking to women, calling them bitches and all that, and the R word? I don't even want to fucking say it. And you come up here, and it's just disgusting. Your attitude towards women is disgusting, BX. Learn to be a little bit more fucking polite to people. It's unbelievable. And also, I want to point out that whole bodyguard of Nick thing. What happened was, during Joneson's live, Joneson was asked by Queen to drop the link for her. So she dropped the link for Queen. Nick took it because he wants to jump on the panel. We didn't even know BX was in the damn freaking like in the actual comments, or we didn't even know he was in the chat. He just clicked it and jumped up, and then he sounded like, oh, Nick, like fucking Joneson's is scared of BX. No one's scared of BX, okay?
Yeah, he shows up like a herpy everywhere he goes. That's what he does. He's just like, ooh, the glare is on panel. Let me go troll that panel. Like,
yeah,
it's gotten to the point where, I mean, I'm a big fan of a good conversation, even a debate. That's fine. But
well, I was just gonna respond to Nana here real quick. She did ask for people to help and to spread it far, but then once it got out of control, like the internet was going crazy, attacking all of these children that were at a party. Should they have all been at a drinking party out there at the lake? No, they're underage kids. But guess what? That's what millions of other kids in America do across the country every single night.
Yeah.
And people were crucifying them for this. They were attacking all of their social medias. There's one girl that she's not even connected to these people, lives in another part of the world.
Who doesn't celebrate when they graduate?
So bad what they did to her.
Who doesn't celebrate when they graduate? That's kids being kids. That's what you're supposed to do. It's a rite of passage.
And the reason why I'm a little ticked off is because I watched BX video. I watched it while I was on the train today. I was looking through it, and I'm thinking to myself, is this motherfucker actually going at saying that the Kylie Rodney family is doing this for money? No, the family is brave enough to put themselves out there and fight. Okay,
right.
A lot of these people who get victimized, like the Wells. I mean, like, even if you think that they're guilty or whatnot, that shit should not have happened to them. And if they had money, they should have sued. But unfortunately, they don't have money, and they are what they are. But these people take advantage of these weak, like a lot of people who are don't have a lot of money and are not that smart, or they just don't have want to go into it. And this family of Kylie Rodney is standing up against a fucking Goliath, a guy who's a multimillionaire who has many, many fans. And people are trying to say that Kylie Rodney is looking for money and is trying to bully Ryan Upchurch. Ryan Upchurch is unapologetic to this fucking day. He's making fun, and he's doing trolling videos and all this stuff. What he did to those, he went after children. He went after 17-year-old kids just to look at their profiles and accuse them of possibly being involved in a murder. You know what I mean? Like, it's so ridiculous. And instead of basically stating that this family is brave for standing up against a Goliath like Ryan Upchurch, you got this guy defending Ryan Upchurch because he likes a couple of his songs and he doesn't like the glare. Are you kidding me? And you say, I'm not a hypocrite. I stand for truth, guys. I stand for truth. You are blinded by your ideology, your hatred for certain parties, and you don't give a flying fuck about the families. Just trying to say, I don't care. I mean, listen, if Queen Bee started fucking with families, I would immediately call her out. I'm just telling you that. I only care about families here of victims, okay? I don't give a fuck about internet clout, views, money, nothing. But seriously, fucking get a grip, BX. Get a fucking grip. And also your bullshit react video where you're trying to react to Jones and crying kind of pissed me off because it brings you some sort of satisfaction and joy to look at other people. You know, fucking bullshit.
Wait, what? Her old one?
Yeah, he was reacting to that too.
Wow.
He's a real fella, and he just wants the views. He's gonna kiss Laura's butt too. He's gonna have to kiss. He's kissing.
I mean, when Laura is the person to go to for safe place, that just tells you everything you need to know.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, this one's almost done. Let's get through it. Give Beatum a moment to breathe.
To fire.
I agree with everything he said, man. Good for you.
And it's unnecessary, in my personal opinion. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Hit the like button, all of that good stuff, man. Watch more videos if you're able to. I know I made a lot of changes recently, and it's because I'm trying to make sure I'm good out here in these streets. So this is probably
Okay, he's just talking about his channel.
Sure to buy that Fang Gang merchandise. It looks great. See, I gave you a plug, man.
I thought he had a bigger channel than this.
So does he.
Oh, he does have a big channel. He has.
Oh, he has a big channel.
26,000
He gets great views when he does the usual. Oh, you got to hate the liberals and that type of stuff. Really fantastic. I've never seen that content on YouTube before.
Dude, to have over 26,000 subs and not even break 1,000 views on your videos just tells me everything I need to know.
Well, it tells me like he does a reaction. Some reactions do well in certain videos, like woke people. That's his content, and then he tries to jump for other things. I'm not gonna listen. I get it. Sometimes some videos do well and some videos don't.
Yeah.
I could just comment on like your behavior on one video I watch, and I completely disagree with his Kylie Rodney video. And it actually gets me very annoyed that he comes in there. Like, for instance, he comes at Jones in. He has no clue what's going on with the fact that, like, Laura played 20 minutes of uninterrupted of her video and walked away to the gas station. And then fucking Jones struck her for playing 20 minutes of just absolutely no commentary, just straight out played it. And then he goes there and tries to go after Jones. And what he did is that when he did jump up with that bullshit thing, he tries to say like, oh, well, he loses that argument, right? And then he changes to the heels in the air argument because he can't stay with one subject. He always has to do that. And that's
because he's always looking for an argument. So once he's shut down on one argument, he's got to start another one.
It's like, bro, stick to the argument at hand.
Right.
Hey, Laura, how are you?
Yeah, what's up, Laura?
Oh,
Hey,
Right, I'm
be
not
nice.
saying-
Not aggressive.
I'm
I wasn't
not
saying that to
saying-
you, Laura. I was saying it to you.
I'm not saying. I just want to tell Tim to please keep my name out of his mouth.
You keep my name out of your mouth. You have 2 lives on me.
To do with BH.
You have 3 lives on me, and you do a queen bee all the time. And your mods are in the chat with his.
You love when people mention
I
Laura.
can't stand the fucking guy. I absolutely cannot believe how many times my name has been brought up in association with this asshole. So I appreciate it if you kept my name out of your mouth. There's a lot of people that don't like Johnson and has nothing to do with me. There's a lot of people that don't like the Galera, has nothing to do with me. Keep my fucking name like mouth. Thank you. Sorry, DeetS. Have a good day.
No, you're fine. And like, hey, when everybody
That's
was
why all your
coming in
mods
here,
are in this chat. Wait, that's why all your mods are in this chat right now. Okay.
Right.
and when everybody was coming in here attacking the Glare, I just asked that you don't attack Laura either. It's easy.
Yeah, don't attack Laura.
It's okay for you guys to talk up here. I was just,
I mean,
don't attack Laura. I seriously. I mean, she doesn't like the guy either. I don't give a fuck. But
It's not
when your mods are feeding him information and then lies on his panel about Joneson, your name's gonna be brought up, and then just simple as that. So maybe you should talk to your mods if your mods are basically stoking flames in other people's chats in live streams. Just saying.
Well, okay, I'm going to disagree with you there. I don't think that's fair because I have mods in here that I have
Crystal
modded
jumped up.
for various reasons, and I wouldn't hold, if they go over to the Glares, hop up on his panel and scream and
lie
yell
about
at him, I would hope I wouldn't be held accountable for what that mod did.
And then basically jumped up on the live, lied about a person completely.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you don't say anything to your mod, and you don't say, hey, maybe you shouldn't have jumped on BX, the guy I really hate. And
yeah, you gotta have some control over your moderators to some degree. Because the thing is I've had this issue recently. I'm not going to get into it, but when your mods have a wrench for you, and then they show up in other people's chat, it's almost like they're wearing a uniform.
Not just a chat.
People connect people will connect what your mods are saying in other people's chats to you as if they share your same opinion, which isn't true necessarily. Right. But it does happen. So I have to remind my mods yo, you know what I mean? If you want to go off and say all this crap about people that you don't like, that's fine, but you can't do that and represent me in my chat either. Especially if I feel the opposite, you can't do it. Because then the whole world starts thinking that you're speaking for me and you're not. So I can't have that.
Well, prayer. What happened was Crystal jumps onto BX, feeds him a bunch, literally not just in the chat, but actually in actual panel, and starts spewing lies about Jones and about Laura and the whole 20 minutes thing, because he actually reviewed Laura's. Because what happened was that he was trying to react to the whole striking of Laura, and then Crystal jumps in and tries to do just completely lies to BX. And BX, of course, does no research, of course, and then proceeds to say, well, you're attacking, it goes after Jones and says, oh, you're attacking one of my subscribers. You know, so yeah, Laura, you're connected. So unless you're going to talk to Crystal and say, hey, why are you trying to bring shit down my plate? Why are you hanging around a guy I supposedly hate? You know what I mean? Just saying. That's like me, like jumping on your panel and then lying about like about Queen Bee and then say, well, I'm in no association. Like, come on.
Sorry, I was just checking something.
Sorry about that, DeetS. I'm a little bit too hyper.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just looking at I had to look at my phone to look at the chat. Crystal mod has made it. Okay. But see, maybe that's just me. I get what you guys are saying, that you think, you know, your mods are representatives of you, and maybe that's because I don't have a connection with my mods off of this platform, and they're their own people, and I, you know, want them to have their own opinions and go do their own things. I know that some people would probably try to tie it back to me, and I would just kind of laugh it off. But it's a weird thing that happens here on these YouTube streets. I get it. And it is frustrating. It's like
it's one thing to have an opinion, but it's another thing to like straight up like call someone horrible names who that creator that you're a mod for has an association with professionally and even a friendship with. It's not cool at all. And then I gotta find out about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? You know, it's, you know, it's kind of not okay. You know, it's not about not having an opinion or not being able to express your opinion. It's about, you know, if you're going to be a mod for me, you know, there's a little bit of politics involved in these YouTube streets, as this guy puts it. You know, there's a little bit of politics, man. Like, you know, there's creators that I get along with, and it's a bad look if my moderators are trash talking those creators that I get along with.
That's like me being on Queen Bee's channel, right? And I'm a mod for Queen, and I jump on Laura and I just start spreading like lies and information about all of Queen Bee's, like one of Queen Bee's mods and one of her friends' channels, and actually watch while Laura shit talks Queen Bee. Like, does that make any sense? Like, Laura, that you have this Crystal person who supposedly your mod is hanging out with a guy that you absolutely despise and do not like, and then who's actually comes at you. That makes like that doesn't make quite sense. I can understand if you're just a sub, but like not a mod. That makes no sense to me, Laura. I guess Laura's back up. What's up?
All right, let me explain. I only heard the very tail of this. My mods were not little children. Everybody's a grown adult. My mods can go wherever they choose. If they come on Queen Bee's panel and have a conversation, be my guest. They want to go on Glara's channel and have a conversation, be my guest. Everybody is a grown adult. I do not tell my mods where they can and can't go. I don't tell my subscribers where they can and can't go. Everybody is an adult. Now, if they're sitting there, if one of my mods is sitting there, let's say they went on Queen Bee's panel because they love Queen Bee, which I do have people that like Queen Bee. And they go on there and they jump on panel and they're having a conversation that has nothing to do with me. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you know, blah, 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 and they're sitting there laughing it up, that's a problem. But just for them hanging out everybody's got different taste. Everybody's got different personalities. And remember, a lot of my mods are Patreons too. Or every mod I have is either a Patreon or a member. And I'm certainly not going to tell someone who is supporting me that where they can go. That's BS to me. Anyone that does that, to me, is trying to control grown adults.
Well, I would agree with you. I was always of the mindset that like my mods are their own people. I don't have, you know, a personal connection with them. I'm not about to tell them where they can and cannot go, things like that. But I am seeing here in the chat, this is something that's kind of a little eye-opening to me. So many people do believe the way Glare and B. Tim are stating, that mods are a representative of that channel. If they see a mod in another chat doing something, they do feel a certain way. And that's just a little mind-blowing to me, because I would never put on a mod from Laura's chat that they're doing something for her. This was eye-opening.
Well, you
That's
would,
what I mean.
right.
If it was
What I'm
something
saying-
like I said, if it was something like somebody jumps on, someone goes on Queen Bee's panel while they're all, 8 people trashing me or whatever, and they're laughing all along with that, I get. That is a representation of my channel that I would not deal with. But just hanging out and half the stuff that went on, if it wasn't for other people telling me what goes on in this one's chat. I just don't control adults. And even if they're a top tier Patreon, if they enjoy the Galera, or they enjoy Queen Bee, or they enjoy BX Bitch Boy, I'm not going to tell them what can and can't do. I'm not going to join them, but I'm not going to tell them what they can and can't do. I would never tell someone where they can go or who they can be a Patreon to. Some of my Patreons, I cringe when I see who else they're Patreons to. Cringe, but it's not my business. As long as they're not, misrepresenting me, I don't care where they go. I can't say anything where they go or who they watch.
I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that, but the reality of the situation is people do that. So
see, this is what, it's not that you can control where they go. Like Blair was saying, that's not the argument. It's that a lot of people feel they are an extension of their channel. And then a lot of subs were saying that they view them as an extension of the channel.
Right.
And that's kind of what's eye-opening to me, because I would not have perceived things to be that way. But so many are saying
you aren't as rational as you are.
But I am secure enough in my own channel and in my own people that Crystal going to BX Bitch Boy, that she's been a Patreon to him for like 3 years, has nothing to do with me. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. I don't, I make fun of her sometimes for it, but in a joking way, but her supporting him doesn't affect her supporting me. So I have no right to say anything. If she likes him and she supports him and she supported him a lot longer than she supported me, then so be it. I'm not going to tell her you can't be a supporter of him because I don't like him, or I just not going to happen. So a lot of people I know are blaming me for No, she's been a Patreon of his for years. Like, again, the amount of time that she's been with me. So whatever goes on over there, I personally can't listen to him because he just annoys the fuck out of me. But that's who she supports too. I can't say anything. She's a grown adult. She can make her own decisions.
Right.
I get your point.
As long as he isn't trashing me and she's over there, then I can't say anything.
Right,
I mean, I get your point. I just think it's just very awful weird that she jumps on to explain for you, and then that's the connection I have. That's pretty much the connection I have, and that's why your name was brought up.
But she's his Patreon for a long time. Like, she's been with him since he was big.
He was big? Okay.
Well,
that's surprising for me.
When he had a somewhat decent channel. But that's how long she's been with him.
He has a problem with literally everyone. Like everyone he talks to, he ends up in an argument with. Everyone. Like I don't see BX who he has no sense of loyalty at all. I don't
know him that well. I just know that if he wouldn't be half bad if he wasn't such a narcissist. He's so into himself, and he wouldn't be half bad if he would stop thinking he's PewDiePie.
He thinks he's PewDiePie.
I don't know, but he's just so self-absorbed with the way he laughs at himself. Like I just can't with him.
Oh, I could tell that right away with him. I agree with you completely. So this is something that's a little different for me. If Cherry was in a chat where Will was being trashed, trashed and she wasn't defending him, I would see that as odd. So you think that mods should be mods like Cherry or like Capone or Crystal, who are, very dedicated to their channels. You think you would find it odd if they weren't standing up for, the creator that they modded for? I find that.
Yeah, I don't.
Jason, I disagree. They should just ignore. If it depending on the creator, I don't want to know if someone's trashing me in chat all the time. Don't defend me. I don't want to know. I don't hear it. Then I don't need to see it. If I hear it, I'll jump up like I just did now. But for the most part, I don't want to know it. So I don't want people defending me in chats. Like, just don't. Just ignore it. So I disagree with Jason.
One of my mods use my channel to do messed up stuff. Yeah, I would agree with that, Kathy Peas. I get your name wrong all the time. If a mod is using your channel to do messed up things, yeah, that would be a horrible situation. I guess I never put this much thought into mods. I modded a few people that I trust to not time out.
Well, I mean,
Heels
is named in a lawsuit because she's a mod in a channel. So maybe
But see, I'm glad you brought that up, DeetS, because that's also something that needs to be taken into consideration. Because if you have a mod, if you mod somebody, that means that you're trusting them with your chat. I can't look at my chat every second of my live streams. I have to trust my mods. So if I have a mod who's trash talking me on other channels and whatnot, and then I happen to be talking about that creator, and that person has control over my chat, that's a scary thought. So it's important. You have to have mods that you trust. You know what I mean? You have to have mods that are loyal to your channel.
I have a question for you, Laura. Who is Crystal more loyal to, you or BX?
I think it's equal. I mean,
let's say she had to choose.
What?
Let's say she had to choose between you and BX.
That's a question for her. But I would never make her choose.
I mean, let's say you started making exposed Laura videos right now and just started bringing up a bunch of lies about you.
He's made plenty of videos about me. I just ignore him.
That's interesting. That's the question I have, but I got my answer.
I agree with that. I just don't. I think in here, because I tell people don't time people out, don't block people, just delete the comment until it gets really bad. And we haven't had a situation to where we've had to do a lot of timing out or deleting, but I know that there are other channels that have to, and so I get what you're saying, but all of this is a little
See, I'm a little opposite from the Glare though, because I do watch my chat religiously when I'm live, but what I don't see is people in other chats. So my mods will tell me behind the scenes, look, this person was trashing the F out of you in so-and-so's chat. Here's the proof. I'm like, all right, so block them. And they're being so sweet as pie to me. That's where my mods being in other chats come in handy.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify what I was saying in the chat. It's kind of hard to convey what I meant.
Right.
Not every mod is a representation of your channel, no. But the example I was giving is, let's say that Cherry only goes to Duty Ron and Glera, right? And we see the dynamics between Glera and Cherry, that she's got his back, right? And then she's in Laura's just chatting it up. But Laura's topic is trashing the Glera, and Cherry isn't saying anything at all. I'd be like, what the fuck? That's what I meant. I don't expect every single mod to run around YouTube and defend, the Glera because you're a mod for him. But
right.
That's what
I mean. I wrench people for different reasons. I wrench people who I've seen in other chats as wrenches who do great jobs running the chat. So I'll wrench them, or I'll wrench other. I'll wrench people kind of for the same reason if they're wrenches for like Mo and Diggs. They're wrenched on my channel because they are wrenches for Ickedmel. So they have my trust, And so, but there's others. I'll
So
wrench
just
creators.
because they mod for someone else,
I have to, in case
just
I
because
have.
they mod for someone else.
Hold on a second. Just in case I have to slow chat down or something like that, I'll wrench creators so that they don't have to wait and they have that kind of free reign in my chat. So
I know a lot of people do that too. Like for a creator, they'll give them a wrench so that they can verify it's them every time they come in instead of the
Right.
account
I've
or
done
whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I wrench people for many different reasons. But there are some that I have wrenched simply because I need them to watch my chat because I can't watch it every second.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I've made friends with many of my mods were friends, right? So if
Right.
you see them in a different chat where somebody is trashing you, it becomes an emotional thing, right? You don't want to have that either. You don't want to get to that point because then you're unwrenching and people are like, why was I unwrenched? It becomes a whole friggin' thing.
You're a little distance, Jason. You might need to move closer to your mic. You're a little hard to hear. I don't know if it's just me or whatnot.
No, and that's why I typed in the back chat. Laura was coming in and out with her audio, and Chasing, you do sound like you're in a tunnel. And Indy, I wanted to ask you, what are some? She said y'all wrench for the wrong reasons. What reason should a mod be wrenched for?
Right. I'd love to know that.
Would be my question.
I mean, I wrench people who I trust, who no matter if I'm doing a drama stream or a serious stream or I'm just hanging on the porch, they're there regardless.
Right.
Those people that you have it slow, you're modding them because they deserve to be modded because they're there no matter what. They support you at any given moment.
And sometimes they're just people who have really good insight. Like there's a guy that I wrenched years ago named Caleb Mandrake. And when I'm talking about serious subjects, he always ends up in my chat. And he always contributes really, really good insight. Yeah. He's a really smart guy. So I have him wrenched just so he will not have any limitations on being able to make his commentary. I don't expect him to do any booting. I don't expect him to do any timing out, deleting comments. I don't expect him to do anything like that. Yeah. I just want him to be able to freely speak in my chat without any type of limitations.
Yeah, there's a guy, 3-Edged Sword, that I met years back when I was doing a lot of like conspiracy and government stuff. And I just loved his commentary. So I wrenched him one day, and I may see him once every 6 months.
Right.
He'll always have a wrench, right?
Yep.
Because
yep.
I think he's great. So
totally agree. Totally agree. That's exactly the situation with Caleb.
Leslie, I have seen a lot of subs say this about creators, that they will mod people because they're heavy donators on their channel. I have several mods that are not even members on this channel. I don't ask them to be members or donate or anything like that. If I trust the person, or I've poached a couple of mods from other channels, and
can I ask you a question, DeetS?
What?
What would be a reason for you to unwrench someone? I guess that's a good question.
That is a good question. Let me think about that one first.
Seeing yourself trashed in somebody else's channel.
Well, that would be a big one, right? If that mod was trashing you. Yeah.
Or agreeing with it. That's one. Or they just don't come around anymore. And that they're not coming around because it's just something they aren't interested in. Sword, I know what kind of stuff he's interested in. I know once I'm talking about that, he'll pop back up in the chat. So
it takes a lot for me to unwrench somebody. Like it takes a serious situation for me to be like, yeah, that person's got to go. Because I think of wrenching somebody as a pretty firm decision. Once you have that, that's I have somewhat committed to you the way that you've committed to me. But
I have older ladies from the Kanika Jenkins community that have had a wrench on my channel forever. Yeah. They don't donate, but every single live they're there. And if they they're sure to leave me an email or a comment like, hey, I'm sorry I missed it. Those ladies don't have money. They just have my heart. I love them because they've always been there. Always.
DeetS, I'm sorry I interrupted you before.
No, you're fine. I would say perfectly you're one that I poached, by the way. But because she's just a great mod, and she was in the chats frequently anyway, so I felt like she was a good person to ask. But no, I would not delete a mod for, or I wouldn't remove a wrench for a mod deleting negative comments. I would see if it continues to happen and then maybe try to shoot them an email or something. But I give people a lot of chances, like a lot of chances. And I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's just me and what I do.
I'm the same way. Like I said, it's a pretty firm decision for me to wrench somebody. I don't just throw wrenches around. So it's a pretty firm decision. So it's going to take a lot. And the person that I just recently unwrenched, took their wrench from, it was a long time coming, kind of, but it was just what you're saying right now is just like, I'm watching and I'm seeing things. I don't really like it, but it's not enough, for me to make such a firm decision to take their wrench away. You know what I mean? And then, but what they did was something that was just like, I was like, okay, that's it. That's it. And
what if they're a wrench for BHB? What? Then they're a wrench for BHB, but do they cheer her on when she's screaming at Don Wells in front of the house? If that's their values, I probably wouldn't have ever wrenched them in the first place.
Absolutely not.
But I would take the wrench. I would be like,
so you wrench, Jason, you wrench people that
Yeah,
share kind of your values and stuff like that and your opinions?
Sometimes there's several people who are mods for me and they are all over the wells like, no, but they would harass them. They would never go as far as a BHB. You know what I mean?
I would never wrench somebody that supports that. No way. Yeah.
No, I couldn't do it. And if they do, several of my mods are like, oh, fuck the wells. I hate them. Okay.
Sure.
It's no problem with that.
And
at all.
Laura, why do you
Don't attack.
why do you mod people? Like, what's the criteria for being a mod for your chat?
Me?
Yeah, he said you.
Well, Patreons and members. You always originally I just did Patreons as mods, and then I changed it to members and Patreons. But yes, you have to be a member of Patreon, and you have to be in my chat a lot. A lot of my mods I've had for years. Like, I don't change my mods a lot unless, we have a fight and they leave. I've added mods because, I see them in my chat a lot, either as a member or as a Patreon. They're in, a lot of my chats or they've been with me a year. So then I mod them.
But you wouldn't mod them for money. I mean, like, for instance, if I became your Patreon, would you make me a mod?
No, I don't mod all my Patreons.
Okay. I'm just making that
They
clear.
they have to be a Patreon member or a member, right?
Correct. They have to be a Patreon or a member to get modded. But there's a lot of Patreons that are never in my lives, like ever. Then I have
why? Why does that get them a wrench?
Wait, what? That they're never in my lives? They don't get a wrench.
No,
Yeah, she's saying that there's multiple criteria. One, you have to be a Patreon. Two, you have to be in your chat.
What I'm curious about is why is them being a Patreon or a member a factor in them getting a wrench?
Because that's how I do it. It's a trust thing, and that's how I do it.
It shows loyalty to you.
Okay, that makes sense. I
That's a
wouldn't do
question.
that.
When I said that, does it mean to you? Does it mean they show loyalty by being a Patreon or a member?
It's not that they show loyalty, but they're less likely to try to screw up my channel.
Right. That makes sense. I would never wrench anybody based on that, but I can see the logic behind it.
Just like I would never wrench someone just because they're a wrench on a bigger channel.
But you don't even have to agree with me. Like, Perfectly Imperfect is a wrench for me, and lately her and I have disagreed on certain things. But she is an animal when it comes to wrenching. Like, she drops tons of links and she drops missing person facts and just helps perpetuate awareness on missing people who I don't even cover in my chat. And I love that. Like, she really puts the work in. So that kind of thing is more important to me of whether or not we agree on things or not. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's
and
more
then
valuable.
I get what you're saying, and there's people like, you know, Snoopy who just doesn't want to be a mod, so he's a member over there on her channel and not a mod, but doesn't want to be. I don't know if it's a he or she, sorry, but there
Yeah,
are people like that.
I have a ton of members and Patreons that aren't mods. I mean, right now my chat, if I had 1,000 people on there, I'd add more. I just don't need it. I don't even need as many as I have right now.
You're just saying that's a qualification. Like, if
Correct.
you decide, then that's one of the things.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just find this all very fascinating, but so I get what the chat is saying and what you guys are saying about a mod being able to screw up your channel because they have the power to delete, to time out, to hide. I just feel like it would just screw up that live because you can go in and unhide people that were hidden. Maybe I'm naive in thinking that way.
Well, you can't go
Or
back.
maybe I know that there's a lot of creators who've gone through a lot with their mods, rogue mods, situations like that, and maybe it's just because I have not been doing lives as long as I've been creating, so maybe it's just not being aware or having had that situation happen yet to be jaded by it.
I'm so scared of that. Like, I had a falling out with a mod who was like my right hand years ago, and I had a falling out with them on a panel because it became abundantly clear that this person was interacting with people who were trying to take me down. And
Was it BX?
I lost it. No, I'm not going to mention just because I'm not trying to start any shit. But it broke my heart, and I reacted to it on a panel, screamed and yelled, and got super mad. But after that, I was just like super duper careful. Like, so Cherry is the only moderator that I interact with directly, because after that, I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I'm too scared of becoming jaded like that. So yeah, I let Cherry. There's that option to make someone a managing moderator. So
Yeah.
Cherry is the managing moderator of my channel, and she will talk to the other mods and deal with the other mods.
And let me also add this, just so there's clear up some confusion. I agree with what Nicole just said, that someone could be really loyal and not be able to afford a membership. I totally agree with that. I do have mods that have been with me a long time, that have come into some financial difficulties, that are not paying me anything. I'm not taking away their wrench. I have people in Discord that have been top tier supporters for 2 years, that something happened and they're in a financial bind, not taking them out of Discord, not taking their wrench just because, they can't afford it at the moment. So don't think like it when I say members and Patreons that, oh, well, what if they leave? You're just going to swipe their wrench. And I don't do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I asked her
people
why.
I do, obviously, but a lot of people, core people, OG people, nothing really changes. Nobody's got to know that they're in a financial hardship or, and I see where it plays out and how they are, and just kind of play each person by ear. But I just didn't want anyone to think like, oh, it's only Patreon and members, and then when you leave, she pulls it. I wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, I deleted my Patreon Discord because I don't really have any more Patreons, and it's because I haven't put out any Patreon content in like a year, So I mean, I just deleted. Like, it's more stuff to deal with. Like, I don't like all of the extra stuff that comes with being a YouTuber and all of the extra stuff. I'm just not good at it. I go live and then I'm not live, and that's pretty much it.
All right, Cordy said this mod stuff is complicated. Can someone send me the rule book? I'm gonna need y'all to send it to me too.
I have a rule book. I have a rule book. We had mod school back in 2020. Some of my mods actually put together this entire
You did not. Stop.
I swear to you, we did. Ask any OG in drama. This girl Karen put together an entire mod book for every single mod. Her, Janelle, and I don't know what happened to Karen, but her, Janelle, and someone else, I forgot who else was there, literally did like a 5-page mod book. And they're like, here, look this over. What do you think? I'm like, you're crazy. You really don't expect me to read this. No, you need to read it. It's a mod handbook. What?
Oh my
Yes, we put together a mod handbook. All right, I'll read it.
Wasn't there another mod on these streets? Like,
Did it come with a
Trixie?
wave? Did it come with? I'm sorry. DeetS.
No, you're fine.
That's a thing. A
I
mod
was about
handbook?
to say, did it come with a waiver of liability? The mod handbook.
It covered everything. Everything. Like what mods should do, how they should act, other channels, letting people in, dropping links, dropping other creators, like it in detail. I was like, wow, this is good.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we're having a meeting, guys. We're gonna have a mod meeting.
A mod meeting.
Well, that's where the joke came
People
from.
do
When you see people say, oh, emergency meeting. That started from me because we were like, mod meeting now, like when I was live.
You had
So that's where that came from.
I will never ever ask any of you mods to have a mod meeting.
Why? You don't want to have a meeting? We can
No. What do you, wait,
bylaws.
please, what goes on in a mod meeting? Just curious. Like, is it
Well, not Doug's
tell
mod
them
meeting.
what
We
you
don't want to be in
want?
that one.
No, I don't want to be in Doug's mod meeting. That's
No,
Things must go in there.
I didn't even know that.
Meetings.
I don't know. What goes on in there? Laura, tell us what goes on in there. Mod meetings.
Just
Like,
talk.
if I
What's
see a
going
mod,
on? Who's talking shit? This one was over here running, their mouth about this one, and this one was said this, and
Is it every morning? Like you have like a powwow and you have like a bunch of mods?
no, like once a month.
Okay.
Uni had mod meeting. So you're just getting gathered to gossip with the girls type of situation.
Uni needed his mods for everything. Like he did no research.
As a mod, I'm sorry, as a creator, you want your mods to be in sync. You don't want this mod saying this or this mod saying that or this one dropping this link and that one dropping that link. Like everyone, let's say 5 mods. Everyone kind of had their purpose. All right, I'm going to drop creator links tonight. Okay, I'm going to drop PayPal link. All right, I'm going to drop video links. I'm going to drop Patreon link, and each one did their own links, and we stopped doing this, and honestly we need to go back to it, but everybody had their job, so everything was all organized, everything was in sync. You didn't have one mod dropping PayPal link and then the next mod dropping PayPal link, and nobody's dropping a creator link because everyone's dropping PayPal links, and everything was in sync. And we did that at meetings. And then they would work it out with each other. Okay, guys, I'm going to drop this link. I can't drop links tonight because I'm on my cell phone. All right, I'll pick up the links. Everything worked really well.
I mean, like, I don't know if I would trust a mod if they're a mod
There's
for a
nothing
channel.
wrong with that.
No, it's very organized and detailed.
It sounds organized. I mean, what's wrong with being organized and running your chat the way you want your chat run? I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. I don't do that, but it makes sense. I mean, you have, if you're running a restaurant, you have team meetings on how, a busy night is going to go down. You know what I mean? And this is your station. This is your station. This is your station. And I want you to stick to your station.
I'll tell you this much, since we stopped doing it, my chat has gone down. Like when we did it, it was wonderful. I had great chat. Everyone was great. Nobody bashed anyone in our chat. Like a lot of my OGs, like, we need to go back to the way it was. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I see it. We do.
This brings up a good point. Carrie says that's too much for a non-paying job. Like, I don't know. Maybe you pay your mods. I don't pay my mods. So it's
Probably why I don't do that either, because I feel weird, like telling somebody that I'm not paying that they have a job to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People love to be
weird as hell doing that.
You actually pay me to work. That's the way the
right. Yeah.
Now we can't hear you, Tracy. Now you're too low.
Now I'm too low. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm on my.
You're from Boston, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be louder, you know.
I gotta be
Awesome.
loud. I don't know what's wrong. My shit is broke. I don't know. It's broken.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a mod for me, it's because you want to contribute and help. That that's your way of showing support, and I'm grateful for it. That's it. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Because again, I'm not paying my mods. You know.
Yeah, I'd like to do something nice for him sometime, but I don't even ask my mod, or it's not like a requirement that they have to drop links or things. I try to grab those on my own. There might be a time where I say, "Hey, can a mod go do this?" And if they can, they can. If they can't, I'll get to it later, but I just I don't know.
Just remember too, mods are there because they want to support your channel.
Yeah.
And they want to support you. So in order to support you, they want to help you grow. If you trust someone to be a mod, then you're trusting them enough that you or you believe that they want you to grow. They want you to do better, and they will do what they can to try to facilitate your channel growing or you doing better. So if you have a core group of mods and everything is in sync, it definitely reflects a better look on the channel. And they want that because they want to support you. They want to see you grow. They want to see you have,
Well,
10,000 people in a live.
What if they're mods to a channel that's trying to take you down?
But I don't have those mods.
Yes, you do. Crystal is a mod for BX, and
BX
he's trying to take you down by doing multiple exposed videos on you.
Yeah, but BX is a joke.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that person wants to take you down.
I can't disagree with her there.
And basically he's trying to get rid of your subs. So she's showing loyalty, but not really loyalty, because she's loyal. She can't be loyal to two masters or two people. I'm just saying.
She knows I pay him no mind.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that would be like me being a mod for like Penny Pumpernickel.
If it was a channel that was directly trying to hurt my channel, which it sounds like what B Tim is describing is the case, well, then I mean, that's risky to have that person as a wrench on my channel.
Bad saying. She can't be masters too. That's a bad saying.
Right. That's risky as hell.
Yeah, but I don't care about BX. She knows that. I could care less what he's got to say. I think he's a total idiot.
Well, we can agree on that.
Yeah.
But who decides that it's cancel culture? Like, not everything is cancel culture. When you are bringing awareness to a situation, or you're commentating on a situation or talking about it, like, I'm not trying to cancel Ryan Upchurch by having this conversation about him today.
Yeah.
I don't think he could be canceled over having this conversation today.
Right.
I don't know why BX thinks that just people having an opinion.
He always says that. He always says that. And that if you speak against somebody, which is all he does, by the way, then you're part of cancel culture. I don't believe in cancel culture. And it's not even, that's not the case. Nobody's trying to take anybody down. I'm not trying to take anyone down with my channel. I review them, and I expose how I see them and what my opinions are on what they're doing, and I use their content to point it out. But I'm not sitting here going, take them down, like go report them. I never tell people to report channels. Never.
Okay, let me also say something here about Ryan. This stuff that Ryan said was vile, and I never denied that. I called him out every chance I could. I thought once he got into the Callie Ross stuff, he had definitely lost his mind. And I was convinced he was on meth. And I told his friends that. I said, I don't believe he's only on pot. This is meth. I said, the way he's acting, the way he's talking, his rants, his lunacy is insane. I said, Kurt, he's out of his fucking mind. I don't care if you tell me he's not. He is. I've seen it. I just know. So
do a disclaimer for the meth thing, because I don't want you to be sued by Brian Upchurch.
He's definitely on some sort of, I mean, it definitely is amphetamine related behavior for sure.
I think so. That's not Adderall. Trust me. That is not Adderall.
I mean, I don't know.
But
I mean, I've heard him say that he uses it recreationally when he's in the studio. That's all I've ever heard. But I mean,
I would say please don't mention like his, you know what I mean? Because like the reason why is because he will bring, you know, he has the money to sue people, and I don't want DeetS to be sued because.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
I
no,
mean, that's
I'm
not
saying
my.
it personally.
Yeah,
But
she's the one saying it, not me.
But my point is that, you know, regardless, people were saying before, what does the money have to do with it? In my opinion, the 100,000 plus the $100,000 Hellcat was his apology without him saying, I'm sorry. That's how I took it. That's how I took it.
Well, that doesn't benefit the family, and that's who he hurt the most. So how would that be an apology to the family?
No, what he needed to do is he needed to go on a live and say, hey guys, I fucked up. I was completely off the wall. Guys, stop harassing these people and stop being crazy. But he didn't do that. He kept the videos up, and there's still people to this day that believe everything he says.
But I had said that to Kurt yesterday. I said, can you please tell Uncle Will to remove this ridiculous video? The lawsuit comes from the courts. He can go to the courts and find it.
Yeah.
Last night in Kurt's, all these people were coming in. The lawsuit's not real. Now I'm a mod for Kurt. I kept writing, yes, it is. Go to the courts. You can see it. Here's the link. I was fighting with people on Will's channel, and I said to Kurt, this is what I'm talking about. I was like, all these people all of a sudden think the lawsuit's not real. If this lawsuit wasn't real, then I want to hire the fake lawyer to do my writing because it's beautifully written.
Yeah.
This is totally legit. This comes from the courts. You can go to the courts and look it up. How Ryan's trying to play this off is beyond my comprehension. But what's even worse are all these idiots that are running with it that are proving the grandfather's point to begin with. I was like, everyone running around, oh, it's not real. It's not real. That is hurting Ryan more than it's ever going to help him.
Oh,
So real quick before you guys carry on and Cappy's up here, I want to say, Mo, thank you for the super chat. She asked, can I ask for the people who were aligning with Ryan during that time, what was it that changed your mind to see him for what he is? That's a good question. I think for me, kind of like what Laura said here earlier, because I thought I wasn't aligning myself with him, but I thought he was just trolling. I was clipping it as humor. I really thought he was trolling Molly and Justin and the people in the true crime community. Like he had came back after his little Summer Wells stint and had decided to troll this community. But there was a point, and I said it earlier, he was like live for like 36 hours straight on different panels, and you could tell he was serious about his opinion, about his allegations, and it just changed in that moment that no, this guy's not trolling. He is dead serious.
No, when he went into the Callie Ross stuff, I was like, oh my God, I can't with this. I was like, this is so bizarre and so over the top. I cannot even believe people are falling for this.
I just jumped up really quick though to like say, Laura, how can that be an apology? Like, because he was after the donations, he was still on the bullshit.
Mm-hmm. But he didn't have to give the Hellcat too. He didn't. He gave.
Yeah, that seems to me almost more like an insurance policy to, I did this nice thing so I can talk these mean things.
No, because he already gave the $100,000.
No,
but the family does not support AWP because of the way that they spun a narrative about Kylie's friends.
See, I see what you're both saying, and I disagree with it, with what you're both saying, because I don't think that the money, like the giving of the Hellcat, was to apologize, because it didn't benefit, like I said, it doesn't benefit the family at all, or the things that he said about the family. But I think that he was just very invested in Doug. He really liked Doug a whole lot. He was cheering Doug up and encouraging him, and he loved what AWP was saying throughout that whole time. And I think he just gave the Hellcat to Doug as an extra thank you, because I do think that he was genuine with that, because of, like Ellie says here, sometimes things are just his personality.
Or he was planning on having a long business relationship with AWP, but then the allegations.
Well, that's true. He was gonna do. He did do that song. Remember the intro?
So I mean, like, also it's great publicity when you do that stuff like that, because like you might say, oh well, he donated $100,000, but well, he can write that off in his taxes, and he looks great. The problem is he said all these other crazy things, never apologized for anything. I mean, he can't delete the videos now because they're in the they can't be because there's a court case.
Lest we forget that he did a video demanding the $100,000 back after Jared was accused of tar.
Well, I can't blame him for that. I mean, I would probably want that money back too. If I found out.
I forgot about that until I just thought of it just now. So, but yeah, that happened. He was yelling and screaming. He went crazy on that video.
He did. He did.
But I personally think Ryan's still trolling everyone.
I think he's trolling right now. Absolutely. I think he's trying to be funny and trolling. I don't think he's trolling with this saying the lawsuit's fake. Like, why is he still?
Because I don't know why. Because doesn't he have like a tolling agreement? So that basically means his lawyer and their lawyer already met and tried to make a discussion.
That beats him. I said the same thing. I'm like, I don't understand this. It says in the court document back in February they had some kind of agreement or settlement or something.
Yeah.
How does Ryan's lawyer not know about it? It's right here in the docket. I don't get it. Unless he changed lawyers. I'm glad you saw that too, because I thought it was like the only one that noticed that.
No, I mean, Down the Rabbit Hole.
Talking about
Down the Rabbit Hole News did an interview with an attorney that was represented the parties that sued Critical K, and he went over the whole thing, and he pointed out a tolling agreement basically extends the slander, because certain states like that state, certain states have 6 months and certain states have a year of like time it runs out that you can sue, and that actually extended that because they had that tolling agreement. So they were actually discussing and trying to settle it, but it probably fell through, and that's what happened. That's why the suit came through.
Oh, like extending the statute of limitations.
Yes, the tolling agreement extends the statute of limitations. That's why they did that talk, because my guess they were trying to negotiate and see what was going on, and that's my understanding from the Down the Rabbit Hole News.
Yeah, let me grab that.
Did you guys hear him?
But they wouldn't have it yet. It's still not a year, so they wouldn't have to extend
6 months. It's
6 months. It's in that state. It's 6 months. In some states, it's a year. So in Illinois, it's a year. In that state, I think it's 6 months.
only 6 months.
When it's libel, it's more than a year. It's like when it's written, it's more than a year. But when it's said, it's a shorter duration. My understanding of that state. So it's 6 months.
I thought I read Tennessee as a year.
Did you guys hear him telling people not to hit the link, that they could get hacked and people are watching them?
Huh?
The link for the court documents.
The short that he did, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I
he
missed
said
that.
if you click the link on the court documents, that it's a way to hack your phone and see everything in it.
Yep, the CIA is gonna get you.
And you know, like, I don't know, his supporters are super like
stupid.
I don't want to say that, but you know, like, don't look into things on their own. They just trust good old Daddy Upchurch, you know.
All right, so let's just say ignorant then.
We could say that. We could say that. We could go with that.
Diggs says that Kurt was talking just as much crap during the height of all this. I do agree until a point, because Kurt, I remember watching and clipping all of it. Kurt was going along with it for quite a while, and then he hit a point where he's like, wait, no, that's not right. That's not legit. And he, finally, he came out and said, no, she's a real person, these things. And then Ryan kind of stopped commenting. But yes, during the height of it, he was.
Yeah.
Kurt, the thing with that though, is he only started speaking logically when Ryan stepped away from the case and was doing other things. And then Ryan came back in like the 11th hour, like a month after the fire cam footage, and was like, this video isn't real. Like, just like she's not real. And he said all kinds of shit. And then Kurt like doubled down and backtracked and was like, yeah, you're right, bro. Like, and did like 2 live streams with him about it. And it's like, weren't you just a couple months ago talking about how, you know what, guys, this is probably an accident, speaking like a normal fucking person. And then as soon as his like their friendship is just like so cringe, like all the ass kissing is just it's so weird.
It friendship, or is it something more where it's like idol
something
worship?
more? Like I'm not gonna say it.
I'm actually gonna jump off. DeetS, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I enjoyed the conversation. Thanks.
Yep. Thanks for engaging in it.
All right, guys. See you later.
We all agree up here that about Jared. Like, there's no disagreeing, I don't think, from anyone on the panel that he is a POS.
Oh yeah, but we'll see with his case.
And Nana, you keep bringing up Lindsay, but Lindsay's not on the lawsuit. She's not one we're talking about. Like, if that's a situation that is a major issue, it might be something for a different live. But Lindsay's not on this lawsuit, and I don't think it's something anyone here has talked about.
Can I just say something too? I got to get back to work. But about Kurt, I understand in the beginning, he went with his buddy, but really no different than the way people stick up for Queen Bee, the way people stick up for me, the way people stick up for the Glare. I mean, I've seen Cherry go hard for the Glare. It's no different. And
I don't think Cherry has a tattoo. Wait, Cappy. I don't think Cherry has a tattoo of the Glare.
The way people
I wouldn't do that.
No matter what, like, we all have people that stick up for us. But what I will say about Kurt is a damn good dude. He really is. He's a good family man. He's a good guy. And
I mean, he's like really, he's probably is a really good guy. But what I'm saying is, like, him, Kansas Rebel Man, and anybody that's surrounded around Upchurch, is they pour it on way thicker than any like other social media like relationship or friendship, like super thick. Like,
I disagree. I think Glare goes
and for some of them I feel like it's because it's profitable, like, and they get power from it because there's this whole team of people, and I think there's more to it than just to like, I'm gonna stand up for this person because I respect them as a creator. I'm gonna stand up for this person because of my friend.
I don't believe that, Cappy. I don't believe that.
I ain't ever gonna get a B tattooed on me, motherfucker. Like, come on.
That's
like,
the next mod meeting. We're
and
gonna have
I
a mod
fucking
meeting.
love that. Listen, I fucking love that bitch. Like, I will defend her. But that is crazy. Like, well, the difference between, let's say this, okay?
That's like a cult at that point.
Queen Bee is not beyond reproach. I will fucking call her out, but they will never call Ryan out, ever. They agree with everything he says. It's totally different, Laura.
For the most part, but
hold on, let me ask you this. And at least Ryan has some stature in the country rap field. What about Crime and Justice, who got Doug tattooed on her? Doug is not a star by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, we talked about that earlier. It's bizarre.
Oh yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah,
I'll call that out. Yeah,
weird. Like, I can see it as, your
think
favorite.
I was gonna defend that, Laura? Are you serious?
Yeah,
Well,
many of us are
I
defending.
can see it more as your favorite musician. Like, I don't know their history. I don't know how long they were friends or how long he's been following on, but I can see that a lot more than, let me get my favorite creators tattoo on me. That's weird.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned that earlier because I joked and said that it was very bizarre and funny that Kurt had it tattooed on him, but I said, but I tease my son who has Kobe Bryant tattooed on him. So like, that's just something I'm gonna do, is just tease people for tattooing other celebrities or famous people on them. And the Glare mentioned he's got Jack
listen.
on it. I would laugh at anybody who does that.
Some independent artists that almost nobody's heard of, like literally most of the world has not heard of him. In comparison to Kobe Bryant, come on.
But if you're in that genre, Ryan's very popular. If you're a redneck, Ryan is very popular. If you're in
he's
just
creating
like metal bands. There's metal bands that are huge in the metal industry that mainstream has never heard of. But if you ask someone in that industry, these people are gods. It's the same thing. It's just a different genre.
I think it's so weird to like put like a musician in that position of like, you're a god. I think it's so
I mean,
fucking weird.
I sometimes like certain music at a certain time period, and I just don't listen to it anymore. Let's hope he doesn't have a taste change in music in the future. He's going to regret it.
Celebrities in general, just like, I just don't get it. I don't know.
That's a
I just don't
lot.
get it.
Although 6 Up, that's pretty badass. I love Freddie Mercury, so I think
All
that's
right,
pretty
we're going to have to do a
cool.
live on 6 Up. She's got we got to make fun of her next.
Right.
Freddie Mercury.
I'm still judging
probably
you for
should.
your choices, though. Just know that.
Like there's just a lot of underground metal that the bands are huge if you're in that genre. And I see some bands that I love that don't even have 2 million subscribers on YouTube. And these bands are huge. I mean, they've had Billboard hits. They don't have a big following. They have a cult following. And that's kind of what Ryan has. Ryan has a cult following.
No, it's true. I get, that is a fair argument to what I said, but my argument still stands. I just personally, I just don't get it. I think it's fucking weird to put someone in that position. I get thinking somebody's really cool, but just that celebrity status of people worship and fandom, I just don't fucking get it.
Yeah, you're not really a friend, you're worshiping him. So basically Kurt can't be Ryan's friend because he doesn't tell him when he fucks
that's
up.
Not even close to a friendship. He would never be like, look, homie, you're fucking up right now. He would never say that to that fool.
How do you know he hasn't said it privately?
I fucking doubt it, dude. My common sense is telling me, I look at their dynamic and how they react to each other and how he super with a super light voice, when they're doing their panels and their scientific fucking or their talk on aliens or their investigative work, where he's like, no, I kind of disagree. The way he talks to him is bitch made as fuck, dude. I can't with it.
Yeah, a piece of me feels like he wants to question Ryan. For instance, that whole triangle thing where the whole calculation, and he's watching Ryan write down the calculations for the triangle.
My gosh, that was so
and then he's just it's just the formula for. He's just sitting there oh my god, just can we move on? If he was normally, he'd be like, bro, that's just chill out, stop it at this point. That's, you know what I mean? I see a little bit wants to question him, but he doesn't want to question him because there's idol worship at that point.
Yes, exactly. You articulated that better than I did. Because I could see for example, what we were just talking about a minute ago, when Ryan kind of stepped away and Kurt started covering the case like a normal fucking person and speaking logically and not all weird. And then when Ryan came back, he went right back to it, just some follower shit. And yeah, he's a fan.
Okay, but we've had this conversation here before, where you're trying to talk, Laura, but you're in an aquarium. But it sounded like an aquarium. But we've had this conversation here before. When you get wrapped up in things, and some people get so wrapped up in who they're following and what they believe, they don't even realize that they're wrapped up in it. It could very well have been that way for Kurt, but he still does have a lot of admiration for him as a musician. And now he's making all of these videos kind of backing Upchurch. So I can see where people...
You know what bothers me, DeetS? Is Queen Bee and Kurt always got along really well. And me and B Tim would do most of the clowning. I stopped clowning Kurt at one point. I was like, God, he's a nice guy. And then these when Ryan comes back around, the way he behaves is just ugh, follower cringe.
I don't know if I clown
get
Kurt
a mind of your own, dude.
I mostly clown Ryan. I don't clown Kurt too much, actually.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, is that it was the clowning of Ryan, where Queen doesn't even really clown Ryan, right? We do, right? Yeah. I mean, she does a little bit, but he was always okay with it until just recently, and she emailed him at least that's what he said. And he's like, I'm not even going to open your emails. I don't even care. You've been dragging my boy for a while now, and well, you what a little two-faced little snake, okay, I get you're better friends with him, but it kind of sounds more I've been friends with this girl who's been dragging my friend. I better drop her as a friend very publicly so my buddy doesn't figure it out.
Hang on. Didn't you guys, I don't know if you did, Cappy. Didn't you guys say before that a mod is a representation of your channel and reflects on you? So if people are up there bashing him that are her mods, isn't that a reflection on her?
I know, but wouldn't that be 11 months of him not bringing it up, and just bringing it up now? Why?
He also...
I don't know. I haven't spoken to him. I have no idea.
I mean,
He made a video about it last night. Go check it out.
yeah, he basically tried to say J Rod is part of our community. J Rod's a creeker. That guy's actually named in the lawsuit. Actually, I think he's like it was cartel or something. He's the one that brought on the whole idea of the cartel, the house being part of the cartel. That's what I mean. Like when I read the thing. So he's actually kind of named in there his channel as an example. So he's not with us. He mentioned the glare. I think he mentioned Queen Bee. What was the fourth person? Was it Ickedmel camping or what?
He did last night or in that one video I played. He had like a question mark for a fourth one. He didn't go into who it was.
I don't know.
But no, I wasn't saying that a mod was a representation of your channel. I
No, it was me.
I get what you're saying.
And then I think you disagree.
No,
DeetS.
I know you didn't, but I'm saying now you see where it goes both ways. Like, if a mod is a representation of your channel, but like Cappy said, even though Cappy's very good friends with Queen Bee and she's a mod on her channel, what Cappy says has nothing to do with Queen Bee's thoughts. So if Cappy wants to bust on Ryan, it shouldn't be taken out on Queen Bee. That's the point I was making before.
I think the representation of the channel thing is a little deeper than that, though. I feel like busting someone's balls and busting on someone is one thing, but like, say, for example, supporting like some racist shit or some really bad like stuff that hurts kids would be like, oh, you're not modding for me anymore. Fuck you. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not going to hold my mods to the standard of like, you have to like all the same people as me. You can't clown on this one person. But if I find that it be like predatory in any way, or like, say like this mentally ill person is getting bombarded by all these people, like, and you're part of that, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, just certain things. It can be a slippery slope. It's not like black and white kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's a difference between. There's a difference between because what was it? Kurt is a he's an actual YouTuber. He has a YouTube channel, so he could have said anything in 11 months and did not mention one thing about all the people clowning on Ryan. I've never heard him basically go after Queen, and he just sat there and he was okay with it. Until
he's talked about how much he liked Queen is actually the truth. Like, I like Queen Bee. I know we see different ways, but I like her.
And now he's saying that the reason why he went after Queen Bee was because of me. Now, if he has a problem with me, make many videos as you want. But like, don't bring Queen Bee in. If you want to go after me, go for it. There's plenty of
people. Took one of her mug shots too, like just to be extra shitty. I was just like, wow, that was kind of mean, dude. Like, you guys have obviously messaged privately before, and you guys are cool, and you just kind of outed her like that. Like, I think that he's making a scene though for a reason. I think that maybe one of their other friends, this is just an opinion, one of their other friends, or maybe him just thinking too much, was thinking like, wow, Ryan's not going to like that I'm nice to her, or something. Like, something happened. Why all of a sudden 11 months later? You know what I mean?
Maybe it was the UFOs. He was talking about a lot of UFOs. Like,
and I've heard him say, like, I like Queen Bee, and in the same breath be like, beat him, and the other person. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, listen, I don't mind him not liking me. I don't give a fuck. But, just make an exposed video about me. I don't care. But bringing Queen Bee, stupid. Just be like, I don't like Bee. There's people that jump on panel you just don't like, and you say, fuck them. And you can just say, I don't like that shit.
True crime time. I don't know. I've gotten lost because I was reading chat, but I think we're talking about Kurt and mods, and if basically the essence of what we're talking about is if a mod or a person truly is representative of the channel holder.
Yeah, Robin. Yes, Laura's on the panel. See, I'm like BX, who says he wants to have a conversation and calls women bitches and R words. I actually have a conversation, and it's not a rude piece of shit. So. To a person on the panel.
Besides him, everybody's always been nice up here.
Last thing I want to say, Crystal is an awesome mod. Capone is an awesome mod. They're both wonderful people. Kurt is a wonderful person.
Is he a mod?
He was, but then I had a rogue mod and I had to delete everybody, and he's just not in my chat enough. I'm still his mod, but they're all wonderful
for now.
Is it fair to say, though, that they can be awesome and wonderful people to you, and that doesn't necessarily mean they are to others?
But that's all I care about, is that they are to me and my channel.
I want to ask you something, though, Laura, before you leave. That's fair enough. I agree with that. Like, they're awesome to you, and that's cool, and that's why you're friends with them. You shouldn't expect them to be awesome to everybody. Anyways, why did you make it seem like Jones and doxed out Crystal's picture when that was her YouTube avatar?
All right. From what I understand, I didn't watch it, but from what I understand, the only picture that is on is some troll of her and not her, if I understood correctly.
No, it's her YouTube avatar.
Yeah, it's her YouTube avatar.
So how did Jones and blow it up?
Because
with her computer.
It's a computer.
When you click on, oh, what's that noise? I don't know who that was. But when you click on the person now on YouTube, this just started not too long ago because I checked it out for a different person. Because it was really hard to grab someone's avatar as for like a thumbnail or something. But now when you click on it, it makes it bigger on your phone. I don't know if it does it on other apps, but now you can click on their avatar, like go to their channel, click their avatar, and it makes it bigger for you.
Okay. I've never done that, so I didn't know that changed. Because as far as I knew, you can click on anything, you're still not getting anything. So I will ask her, but I was told that he was showing a picture that was not on YouTube. Not that Crystal's embarrassed or anything.
But Lord, you've gotten in this position before by like supposedly your audience and your Patreons never steer you in the wrong direction. But like this is not the first time I've heard you say, "Well, I didn't see it," but you went full throttle, making people think that Jones and Doc's out a picture.
Sub. She's not a creator. She is a sub. And
So
now
stick to that argument. Don't make it like she
hold
doxed somebody.
Now we're going after subs. I thought you being an OG should know all this. We don't go after subs. We don't
Girl,
attack.
I've heard you go in on people in chat. What do you mean?
I have never shown a subs picture or done an entire live about somebody who talks shit about me. That's not
Cody
another
Jones?
creator. That's not another creator.
Cody
I
Jones?
would never pick a sub and be like, oh, well, you said this about me. Well, I'm going to show your picture and this and that. Since when do we do this? Honestly,
Cody Jones is a sub. You've had a lot to say about him.
It doesn't matter. People talk about shit about me every day. You don't see me blasting their pictures. And I'm just talking subs. I'm not talking creators.
It's the picture she uses on YouTube. She enlarged it. Like, is that much of a difference? Like,
doesn't matter. Since when do we go after subs like that? Just because a sub talks shit about you, now all of a sudden we're gonna blast their picture.
I think a lot of people have gone back and forth with subs. It's not. I think you're making it a little deeper than it is, Laura.
That's your opinion. I don't think it's deeper. You don't do that to subs, no matter what they say about you. You don't blast their picture and make lives about them. I'm sorry, you just don't. I've never done it. I've never seen it done the way it's been done lately. That's my issue.
You did that to Follow the Grain, who's a sub. She doesn't have a channel.
I did that to who?
Follow the Grain. You actually reviewed her.
Grain.
Yeah, you reviewed her. Cody Jones, you reviewed him.
Who
You
is
went after-
Follow the Grain?
Follow the
I've
Grain.
never blasted her picture.
You reviewed her thing. You went after
I've
her.
never blasted her picture.
You didn't blast
Never.
her picture, but you did go after
I
some.
never blasted her picture. We're talking about a picture.
Okay.
So it's just a
Talking about
picture.
blasting someone's picture.
Like it's okay. So you're saying, I'm just trying to understand. You're saying it's okay if Joneson would have talked about
Absolutely.
Crystal, but it's the picture that
Absolutely.
that was too far.
Absolutely. If someone is pissing you off that much, you go right ahead and say what you got to say about them on your panel. There's nothing I could say. I tell Capone this too. If you're gonna talk shit, well, guess what? They're gonna talk shit right back. I don't have a problem with that. But it was the whole picture thing. Like now we're pulling up subs pictures of all the vile shit I've ever done. I've never done that.
It's the YouTube avatar.
You were talking about it before the picture was brought up, though. You were like, "Oh, we go with subs. You shouldn't say anything to Crystal and Capone, and like they can just run amok and say what they want, and they don't get responded to. That's ridiculous."
That's not what I said. That is not what I said.
Well, that's what it felt like. But I gotta jump down. Thanks for having me up, DeetS. It was good talking to you.
Yeah, thanks, Tappy.
All right, I gotta go too, though.
Yeah, thanks for explaining all that. I just think when you send over the mod pamphlet.
The handbook? I gotta find it.
I need one on the OG rules of the drama community as well, because apparently there's a lot of different rules that we're not aware of.
I have to ask Janelle. I don't know. I don't even know if he's. I mean, I'm sure I have it somewhere on my computer. But yeah, it was literally like a 6-page, 5 or 6
Oh
pages.
my goodness,
No
that's
joke.
crazy.
And I'm not talking like one line. I'm talking she went in detail about every single responsibility of a mod. And I said to Red Dragon, I said, dude, I can't hand this out. What are you, crazy? I was like, this is so detailed. And but she spent so much time doing it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do it. I mean, I'm not going to tell her no one spent all this time doing it. But yeah.
Yeah, Nanya, we're going to get a handbook and we're totally going to have to whiteboard that shit. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna have to have a sign release on the back, and also basically, you know, all that stuff.
But honestly,
I
though,
need a copy of that too.
I'm glad she did do it because it really, I mean, it really is a good guideline. And my chats were so much better then than they are now. So I think I'm going to pull it up and really have the mods go back to it. I mean, one of the things was mods were never allowed to bash anybody. They had to hold their tongue, scream in Facebook or Discord, whatever, but you are not allowed to bash anybody. Drop, another creator comes in there, drop their link, whether you like them or not. We had a good chat. And somewhere through all the hate, we lost it, but I think I'm going to go back to it.
I'm curious of how people would interpret that. I do want to see what's in there because I think a lot of people, viewers, subscribers might view that, have opinions on that. Just how mods should act. It's a very interesting topic. So thank you.
But you want to know something? I had back then, my chat was the best place to be because people could have an opinion. They weren't being bashed. They didn't have to, if their subscribers were in there and they're subscribed. All right, so let's say BTim was watching. BTim would know that nobody was bashing. None of my people were bashing anyone he liked. So, subs may do it, but we would X them too. No bashing another creator, like at all. So then all the
what's considered bashing a creator?
And then you would have to get rid of about like 25 videos about Queen Bee because I like Queen Bee. So
if I'm talking about, I'll give you an example. If I'm talking about, let's say, Brian Kohlberger, somebody coming in and talking about what happened on DeetS' channel today would be X'd. We're not discussing that. We are discussing Brian Kohlberger. Either add to the conversation or you can see your exit out. That's what I'm talking about. It wouldn't be, oh my God, did you hear what BTim's? It doesn't matter. We're not discussing BTim. We are discussing Brian Kohlberger. And if Brian Kohlberger is not your topic of discussion, then you need to go somewhere else. And it worked. It really worked.
I think that's a good principle to have. I don't know if you can get an entire group of people to stay on track like that, but
we did though.
It would be good. Yeah.
We did. I mean, it worked. And I had tons of people in there. And then for some reason, we just went off track and it hasn't been able to get back since.
All right. Well, Good Onion's giving you an idea for your next live. Says, Laura, can you live stream the rules so I can take notes?
Nope.
So she's giving you advice. That would be a good idea.
Thanks. So, all right. But I really got to go. I will see you later. Thank you for having me. I hope I can clear up some stuff. And
we all share our equal hatred. Well, not hatred, just dislike for BX.
One last thing for DeetS. Totally off topic, but I see that you did a live on that case that I talked about a couple of nights ago. Tell me that is not crazy.
Oh yes, you did a live on it, but I didn't see it on your channel.
And it's because it's not specific for that. I kind of threw it in because I just found it earlier that day. But tell me that is not crazy.
That's an insane case. I heard Nancy Grace's podcast on our drive back from Florida, and I was like, why is nobody arrested yet for this?
What I said. And why is nobody talking about it? I was trying to find YouTube videos, nothing. I was like, but the problem was everything that I had talked about, there was nothing left. I think the dentist did it. He has to be responsible. How are him and his son there the next morning with the girl's been brutally murdered and nothing? And I just think that
there was over 5 people in that house, not including her. So someone has to know something. So I don't understand why there hasn't even been a named suspect yet. There's not even a suspect name. That's insane.
And the cop said at the original press conference, he was like, "Oh, we already have a suspect." That was the dentist. So what politics or what money bought him out of this murder? Because this was personal. This was someone she knew. This wasn't some random person. This is sick.
Oh, I
And
agree. It's, the stabbing that was intimate. That was a very intimate way to kill someone. And I totally agree that it was very personal. So and their excuse is that the DNA has to be processed through the lab before they can name a suspect. I'm not buying that, but
Anyway, DeetS, I will see you around. I just wanted to
Thank
jump
you,
on that
Vito.
whole BX thing. Bye.
Bye, Vito.
I'm not buying it either. It's like, no way, no how. The dentist is involved. He bought himself freedom, and that's just the way it is. And this is totally politics, and I feel horrible for the family. And I've been trying to find more information on it, and there's nothing. Like, I haven't been able to find anything else that I haven't already brought public. But then I saw you did it, going through the timeline and stuff, and I'm like, well, at least I have someone to talk to about it now.
Yeah, it's really interesting case, and I think that they're making the 911 situation more important than her actual murder, and that's what's really frustrating. When I Googled it, when I typed it into YouTube, the only thing I could pull up was news articles and one other channel talking about it. But I actually have some subs who are there on the ground, like participated in the protests and are helping the family and stuff. So if like more info comes out through them, I'll do another live on it or something. So it was really interesting.
It's crazy. So, all right. I'll see you later. I gotta get back.
All right. Thank you.
Wonderful day. Thanks for having me.
Have a good one. Perfectly. No, I'm not a Nancy Grace fan at all. I don't even know how she came up in my feed, my algorithm. I don't know. It was very bizarre. But nobody else was playing, and I listened to it because I was driving and it was at night, so I needed something to. And I'm glad I did because it's an interesting case. We were talking about Amber Spradlin's case. It was really cool.
Am I still like
Bob, are you
wonky?
there?
Yeah, am I still wonky?
No, now you sound good. Earlier you
I sound
sounded really wonky, but you're good now.
Oh, okay. So I kind of like missed what happened today. But first off, hey DeetS, it's so good to talk to you. I wish I wasn't talking to you about this subject though. But I didn't really see, because I had a migraine this morning, so I've kind of been sleeping all day, but I got a lot of messages that the glarer came up and was talking about me. So
well, he did. I don't think he was. If he was talking about you, he didn't state your name, so I didn't know who he was talking about specifically.
Yeah, he was talking about me. Apparently in Morbid's chat, I was joking and I said that him and Morbid were twats and so were Hills and Burnt Toast. And apparently the Burnt Toast was taken offense to. I don't watch Burnt Toast. I don't know her. She is perfectly fine to me. I have no issue with her. The other mod maybe has an issue with her and doesn't like her, but not me at all. But yeah, so I just was in his Discord, everything. I was asked to like give ownership back to his Discord. And then I went to go get on his live and I was blocked, removed from the Discord, and unwrenched with no explanation, no like, hey, I'm going to take this from you. Hey, I don't need your help anymore, which girl would have been perfectly fine with me. So fine. I don't care about a stupid wrench. It's nothing. It's completely fine. but to like just kick me out of the community, especially the Discord where I like kind of build it up myself, I just think is kind of fucked up. And then to go on like a live of his own and talk about me without addressing me, and then to come over here and put me in a timeout yesterday, and then come up and talk about me again today without addressing me or just being honest and saying, hey, I mean, everybody knows it's me that's outed. So just say, hey, I don't want her as a mod anymore. It's okay.
Well, I think that kind of played into a lot of the things we were having. I don't even know how we got to this topic of mod expectations and creator expectations towards mods. And so I think a lot of that maybe just came up organically because, I don't know that it was directed at your guys' situation, but I think a lot of people have had their eyes open to how different creators view things differently. And there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have put on my own mods that other creators do put on their mods, and vice versa. So,
well, and
it's
also, I
definitely
mean, it just, because he doesn't like really want to address it, but then he like goes around and kind of says things. I feel like a little bit it's a attack on my character, because obviously a ton of people are messaging me like, oh, he's talking about you, that's about you, this is about you. And I was a decent mod for him. I posted his links all the time. I never blocked anyone. I never timed anyone out. I only hid the stuff I was supposed to. So, I mean, I just figured I would come up since he already addressed it on your thing and everybody
kind
knew
of
he was
clear the
talking
air.
about me,
Yeah.
and clear the air. This is a problem within himself. It has nothing to do with me. I did nothing wrong. I was a good mod. Like, that's just the facts of the case. I was a good friend to Cherry, like a really good friend to Cherry. So I would just, and also just coming from me, I know he's looking for mods. I would just be aware and be careful if anyone does become a mod for him, because you're just like next on the list, because apparently this is something that happens a lot over there. So, but it just sucks to be kicked out of a community after over 2 years for no reason, and then just to someone to go and talk about it without addressing it. It's just very cowardly too. And that was
I hope that
just my
there's
take.
a forum or a platform or emails or something that you two maybe can discuss that and hash it out, or something,
Yeah,
even if it
no.
doesn't mean, coming back together or anything, but just get to.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with not going back to his channel, and being in his Discord and stuff at this point. Like, I don't like want to.
Yeah.
I'm okay. But if he would at least respond to me and have told me that stuff privately, I would never have talked about anything publicly. But I had emailed him and asked, like, hey, just give me a heads up, like, what's going on? But he won't, and Cherry won't either. So I'm just like in the dark. But it is what it is. So, and you know what they say, your tribe finds you. And I just don't want to be like blocked or like hid from your channel, because I don't think I'm like disrespectful. And I promise, like, if you say anything to me, if I'm out of line, if you tell me, I definitely will follow what you want. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm
I
not
have,
a rude
like
or
I
disrespectful.
said, 5 people on my block list. You are not one of them.
Yeah.
I don't block a lot of people here. But I am sorry that you got timed out.
It's fine. At least it was only timed out. Like,
Right.
it's just
I just
a
hope
little
that
tantrum, a man-child tantrum. It's all good.
I just hope whatever situation, that everyone has there, that you guys can
And
move forward and coexist in common spaces.
yeah, I will just ignore him in your chats from now on.
No, thank you.
So yeah, I don't want to start a problem in your chat. And I did call him an idiot yesterday, and that's why he timed me out. But I mean, he's sitting there calling people idiots, but he can't be called an idiot. But that's just how his channel is anyway. So it is what it is.
Yeah, there
But
are true crime times, right? I don't
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think that would happen to a cop, and I hope not, but there are creators who do dox their ex-mods on these streets, and it's just mind-blowing. It's
Um,
mind-blowing.
yeah, he doesn't have any information on me. I mean, I follow him on Twitter. I've never spoke to him. Like a year ago, he messaged me about Morbid's chat, and that's the most conversation like I've had, other than anything in the past like almost 2.5 years and like Discord and that. But I don't talk to him, so I will just
I
ignore
don't think he
him, and hopefully he just doesn't talk about me anymore, and he can
Okay.
just be
Well,
nice.
like I
But I
said,
thank
he
you.
didn't mention your name, so I had no clue
Yeah, but
that that's who he was
he
even
won't,
referencing, so
because yeah, some people just can't dish what they take, um, or take what they dish. That's it. Sorry, I've had a migraine all day, so that's why I wasn't
Oh, I'm
even here
sorry.
today, or in chat and everything. And I'm actually not reading chat, so people are talking to me. I'm sorry that I'm not like ignoring you. Um, and I really apologize, like to bring this on your channel, DeetS,
It's okay.
because oh, Sean P and my jumping spiders. I did just see that. They do have jumping spiders.
You got really low again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there's like a
Okay.
clicking noise happening that everyone can hear. I don't know. It does
Oh,
kinda sound like you're
it's
chopping vegetables. I don't know. I'm just
no, I'm not. I'm just sitting here, but
It
yeah,
might be
these
your
headphones
phone.
are awful, but my kids are going to be home in like 5 minutes, so
Okay.
I will jump down anyways.
Well, thank you for coming up, and I'm sorry about everything. Again,
Uh,
I didn't know
yeah, it's
that
fine.
like, your name was not specifically mentioned, so I didn't
Yeah,
feel that
you didn't
that was
know.
you,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
sorry
it's
about
fine. It's okay. It's not your fault or problem or anything at all.
Mhm.
And I appreciate you, and I will see you in chats.
Alright. Bye, love.
Bye. Bye.
Let's see. What do you guys think? What a life. We went from Ryan Upchurch to Captain Kurt to everything else at mod school, mod school, and mods, ex mods, ex creators. I think that will be a good topic for another day because there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, we kind of touched on it briefly because things were brought up in the conversation, but that and I know we've had a couple conversations about it before, but it does bring up very interesting points and topics. So, what comment about a deceased child? I must be missing something here. I was watching the chat, but I was also trying to listen and tune in because she was really choppy. Right. You're absolutely correct, Nanya. As crazy as people think it is, parasocial relationships do happen online. And for the people who choose to engage in that, it can't you did you mean it can be harmful? Okay, so that happens a lot. Okay. No, it's fine. It was fine. I just was trying to tune in and listen to what you were saying. But thank you for coming up and sharing what you had to share with us. It's her earbuds. That's why I had to stop using, my AirPod Pros on the laptop because for some reason they do not play well with StreamYard on my laptop, but they do just fine on my phone, so I don't know. So, I don't know if we ever came to a consensus if Ryan is trolling the community or if he is just out here running amok right now. Either way, it's a lot. Yeah, they can be. Sometimes they're pretty calm, but sometimes they do get a little crazy. I love that people do pop up. That's why I'm so sad it kind of turned out that way with Beast Boy because I allow everybody up here to have their different opinions and in the chat but I don't allow people to disrespect me, especially not on my own panel. So I wasn't having that. I could have a conversation with him, but you're not going to interrupt me and treat me that way. I didn't appreciate it when you did it to people I like, but you're especially not going to do it to me on my own platform. Everybody thinks he's trolling. Trolling? You're going with running amok. Yeah, Beast Boy was here, but he didn't stay too long. I'm sure he's got some content on it though. Thank you, Nanya. I appreciate you all staying respectful in the chat and the ones that come up on panel to the best of your abilities. I know that there are some that it is hard to do, and some still make sneak diss comments. I get it, but I know it's hard not to. So I appreciate the effort. I truly, truly do. Oh, I'm sorry. Who are you calling a whore? Qwerty? Trying to block myself. Oh, we've got one last guest before we go. Hello, Morbid.
Look, don't cut me off, by the way, okay? Number one. I just came up here because Glare mentioned Morbid. So I just wanted to come up here and point that out. I'm doing some editing, but, and I don't like that. And I want to be unwrenched in his channel from here on out. All right? Thank you. Thank you. And don't get my name out your mouth, Glare. Unwrench me, please. Thank you. All right. Appreciate it. Have a good one. I listened to this long enough. You're too entertaining. I had it playing in the background and, you know.
Can you believe
Hey,
we're
don't
almost
cut
up
me
to
off.
that?
No, I'm kidding. All right.
You're rotten. You're rotten.
That's it? All right.
That's all you got? You just needed to tell.
That's it.
come
I
up
just
and
had to
tell it
get
all?
that off my
Okay.
chest because
Okay.
everybody else is coming up and whenever their name's mentioned, and he only said hi to me too, by the way. I didn't like that. I
think
didn't
he's
like the
over
way
you.
he said it.
He might be moving on. I think he might be picking a new boyfriend.
Ah, well, we'll see about that. All right. Thank you very much, DeetS.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Have a good one, Morbid. It was weak, wasn't it? He was so nice up here. I don't know what happens. This panel just turns people nice. Now, he wasn't trolling. He's legit. Everybody's blocking Courtney. All right, guys. That's all I got for this one. I know. I get so many comments about that, about the different people I have on panel. Then, oh, I'm going to cancel her. I'm not a part of it anymore. It is what it is. But I'm going to go. I'm sure somebody's live. I can't check right now, but I'm sure someone is. And so go there, give them your love and time. I'll see you all on the next one. Love, love.